Australia, there's no freshness like Coles freshness. I know because I visit the farms. I know just how committed Coles is to Australian farmers and providing the freshest locally grown fruit and veg. Look at all this. And I know how fast we get our fresh produce from the farm to you. Perfect and right. And at Coles, 96% of our fresh fruit and veg is Australian grown. That's why it tastes so fresh. And that's why
there's no freshness like Coles.
The Northern Territory is full of the best stories.
Where I got up close and personal with an Aussie icon.
Which you just have to do. Flying over those waterfalls is just irresistible.
So we jumped straight in and
relaxed in the cool waters with
a few friends on a little charter heading to
a tropical sunset like no other.
The best short break story is available now at flightcentre.com.au or call 131 600 and book now.
Someone up there?
Yeah.
If you want to tune in to the AFL web page and see it live streaming, or the Richmond web page. All right? That's the only way to get it do it that way. You can see it live streaming from Richmond or the AFL. All right? All right, Shane, I'll catch you on the back out later. All right, bye.
And a welcome to Traeger Park in Alice Springs for the biannual match for the AFL Indigenous All Stars. Tonight they take on the Richmond Tigers in their 2013 clash. And on behalf of the NIRS AFL broadcast team, we wish to acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands here at Traeger Park and also the traditional owners of the lands right across Australia to wherever this National Indigenous Radio Service AFL broadcast is reaching tonight. Barry Denner with you. Beautiful night for footy here in Alice Springs. The lights are on at Traeger Park. Plenty happening in our pre-match tonight. We're still an hour from the game. Mickey O'Loughlin, the coach, will be joining us a little bit later on. Legendary broadcaster Charlie King. Our own Chris Johnson, who is an assistant coach for the All-Stars tonight. And, of course, the great man himself, Michael Long. We also welcome our listeners tonight through AFL.com and AFLNTv. Joining us tonight live from Traeger Park. Great to have your company. Well, I tell you what, the man who's looking after the special comments tonight is pretty special around these parts. We're sitting in his stand at the moment, the McAdam Bowden stand, ladies and gentlemen. Gilbert McAdam played 111 at the highest level for St Kilda and Brisbane. Born here in Alice Springs, a Magarey medalist in 1989 in the South Australian National Football League. And one of our favourites on the NIRS. He's a proud man today. Gilbert McAdam, welcome back to the footy.
Oh, look, Baz, it's great to be here. I'm really excited, and I'll tell you what, I was telling you on the plane here, this ground is one of the best grounds you'll ever play football on. How beautiful is this oval? Absolutely magnificent. Weather, a bit overcast, but I'll tell you now, no chance of rain.
What about you sitting in your own stand?
Well, what a privilege it is to be able to commentate, do special comments in the stand. It's not named after me. It's named after my brothers and myself and the Bowden brothers, 3 brothers that played AFL McAdams, 3 brothers Bowdens that played AFL. And look, it's a great accolade, and it's very proud for our family.
Joining us in commentary tonight, Gilly, he's the #1 man at NRS football, the former Bomber, the former Tiger. Of course, we know he's a Sturt legend as well, and of course he played under 10s with you up in Darwin for a couple of years.
Oh, correct you, mate, under 12s.
Under 12s, was it? I think he might have been playing when he was 13 or 14. But anyway, Andrew Underwood, good evening to you.
G'day Baz, g'day Gilly, great to be here. Great to be back in Alice Springs. I've got to say, one of the best golf courses running around is Royal Alice Springs. And good to be here. Good to see so many people coming in from the communities. It's going to be chock-a-block. As you say, Gilly, it's overcast. And you're right, the ground is in terrific condition. And if we don't get any rain, it'll be a crackerjack contest.
I'll tell you what, gents, we've got a very, very special man down on the boundary line tonight who's going to be conducting many, many interviews of the stars that have come out to play here tonight. There's many of those as well. Chris Jnr, of course, originally from Swan Districts in the Waffle, has now racked up 63 games for the Blues, kicked 40 goals, become one of the most exciting players in the AFL today with his run and carry off half-back last year. He set the football world on fire. For the Blues, Chris Jnr, a very good evening to you. Welcome to NRS Footy right through AFLNTv.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. It's a real privilege to be working with you guys today.
Obviously, you're not playing tonight, mate, but the conditions down on ground level there look pretty good for a big game.
Yeah, it looks perfect down here. It's such a big oval. I think the same width size as the MCG. I'm really looking forward to the game. I think the game will suit our Indigenous stars tonight. Let's hopefully they can come away with the win.
A few of the lads have been going through a few warm-ups down there. Everyone fit and healthy. We've had a few withdrawals, but the ones going out there tonight, no doubt, are going to go out pretty proud and put on a good show. Yeah,
it should be. Guys like Eddie Betts, Paddy Ryder, the list goes on. They've got such great players out here tonight. I think they're going to represent not only their people, but like the people out here in Alice Springs and across Australia as well. So really looking forward to it.
Blues last year, as I mentioned in the intro, sensational. You run and carry off half back. Well, you went up another level. Change of coach this year. You've got Mickey Moldhouse at the helm. How's the pre-season going?
Yeah, it's been extremely tough. I had a trip over to Arizona late October last year for 2 weeks. Real eye-opener. Did the Grand Canyon and Mount Humphrey walk. It's been real solid. And Mick Moldhouse has been an excellent coach. It's great. It's really sad to see Brett Ratton leave because he was such a great Carlton man. But his time was up, and now we've got a magnificent coach in Mick Moldhouse. So hopefully he can steer us in the right direction and get that premiership that we truly well desire. So should be good.
Good on you, Chris. It's going to be great to have your company tonight. We're no doubt looking forward to crossing down to you with some many interesting interviews tonight. You said you're not going to pull back. It's one-on-one with Chris Jnr.
Thanks, guys.
So Chris Jnr from the Blues joining us tonight, Gilly. Should be some interesting stuff from down here on the boundary line.
Oh, look, mate, I just love the way he plays footy, and look, he's a player that's going to play 200 games, you'd think, for the great Carlton Blues Footy Club. And look, I just love the way he plays. He's like poetry in motion, mate. When he's running, he doesn't look like he's running fast, but he's running fast. But more important, you know what I love about him? He takes them on. Yeah. He'll have a bounce, he'll take them on, have a shot. He's a great player for the future.
In for a big year for the Blues, no doubt about it. Well, joining us early on in the broadcast, one of the assistant coaches here tonight, and a proud assistant coach, a 3-time Premiership player himself for the Brisbane Lions, and one of our very high members here on NIRS Football, Chris Johnson. Good evening to you. Welcome to Traeger Park.
Good evening, Baz, Gilly, Undies. Good to be here. I'm excited. I'm in the Gilbert McAdam stand. It's just a great achievement, Gilly. In all seriously, mate, to have something to come back to your homeland and your traditional lands and have something like this named after you, mate. I think you should be very, very proud of yourself and the rest of your family as well, mate. Because I think it's a true. You're a true champion, and hopefully one day they can name the Southern Stand after me, Baz. We'll see. Back to my homeland.
I spoke to you in the week, and you were legitimately excited about this game tonight. You were jumping out of your skin. And tell us a little bit about the build-up, the 3-day camp, of course, that the young men have attended this week. Tell us all about it and what's been discussed.
Look, Baz, it's been 4 years in the making, this game. Obviously, 2 years ago, we started the camp in Blacktown, and we wanted to come over here and play, and it was just, unfortunately, that there was a big storm coming in, and it got washed out, and we weren't able, the AFL quit the game and cancelled the game, but we've been here since Tuesday morning. Guys have flown from all over Australia. Obviously, for the Gold Coast boys, the West Coast boys, they've done the hard yards. Those guys, they've had to get up at like 3 a.m. in the morning to get to the airports and these sorts of things and get over here. But they've been working through a lot of things in regards around the retention around Indigenous players in the AFL system. How do we work on a better transition outside the AFL system, wherever that may be, within working in banks, being coaches, whatever it may be. It's just been a great insight for these young boys, and it's probably the younger side. I reckon the average age, if we look back, I think it may be about 21 to 22, the average age. And I guess the days when myself and Darryl White and those sorts of likes, when we bumped up that age to probably about 28, 29, Gilly. But, the boys have been fantastic. There was about 14 guys go home today that weren't playing. But out of the 68 guys on AFL list, we were able to get here 56 players. So it was a great number of guys getting here. And tonight we got 29 available out of, we could have brought 30 in if we liked to, but we got 29 available to get out there. A majority are making their debut for the Indigenous All Stars.
Look, Chrissy, great to see you, brother. Look, it's great weather for them, and I was actually went down at lunch and caught up with you at lunch. I spoke to a few of the young fellas, and just a feeling, I was trying to test them out, just see how they're feeling, and I could see it in their eyes. They were really excited. Some of them haven't even actually played an AFL game. What a great opportunity for them to be able to play with their brothers, in an AFL game, Aboriginal All Stars. What a time to make your AFL. It's not an AFL debut, but to me, it's like an AFL debut for them.
The way you're talking about, Gilly, and you can look at me, mate, I'm getting goosebumps for those guys. I think it's just fantastic. I look at the top of the list. Murray Newman, I don't think he has played a game yet for the Eagles. Amos Frank, a boy from just down the road at AP Wildlands, just down the road. It's probably 10 hours away.
Actually, brother, it's about 650 kilometres away. I can't wait to watch him play.
I was talking to Amos today, and I said...
Tell us the story, what happened?
Well, Amos first started with one of our programs, in the Footy Means Business Rio Tinto programs. He got identified out of that, and Hawthorn picked him up, and he was just able. Now he's able to be on an AFL list, and now he's able to play. We issued 4 tickets to each player, but there was one player that got about 35, and that was Amos Frank, because he's got all his family here. But those 2 guys at the top of the list, they haven't even played an AFL game yet, and I'm really excited for them. Spoke to Amos at lunch today. I said, "How many goals, brother? How many goals?" He goes, "Maybe 2, eh? Maybe 2. I said, "How many possessions?" He goes, 19. So he's pretty confident, and I've seen him play some great football at VFL level. But let's hope he can make a step up this year. One other guy a local guy that's up in Darwin is Stevie May. I'm really looking forward to see how he goes. He'll be playing in a position he's not used to, Gilly, that you'll probably touch on a little bit later.
And he's been in the system for about 2 to 3 years now, so he's almost at the stage where he should be starting to feel comfortable.
Yeah, coming into his 3rd season now, so we've seen he's a big boy, he's a districts boy, he's been playing at the Crocs, and has got a good frame on him and can kick a ball and take a good mark. So really looking forward to seeing how he goes. And obviously you've got the Motlops, and you've got an old schooler in Graham Johncock out there, but Jed Anderson as well. He's fantastic. But what I'd like to mention is Nathan Lovett-Murray, the captain tonight. He's been unbelievable. He's had a great service to Essendon Football Club, but he's been a great service for Indigenous people in all areas, violence against women, all those sorts of things. So really looking forward to for Nathan's sake, and hopefully the boys get over the line for him.
And you know what? I was the most proudest person. When I heard that Buddy had pulled out, I thought to myself, I wonder who's going to be captain. When I had to see Nat Rat Lovett get the captaincy, I was so excited for him, because he's been in the system for Essendon for almost 10 years. He's a life member of the footy club. People forget he played 3 seasons as a rookie with the Collingwood Footy Club. So for him, mate, he must be. I bet you he's nervous. I bet you he's excited.
Yeah, I reckon he's excited. He's speaking to him last night, just after dinner, and that he just can't wait to get out there and represent the boys and lead like he does. Truly, another guy too, which is quite interesting as well, Gilly, is Brett Goods. Brett Goods just got onto the AFL list, and now he's going to be playing, his first senior AFL game.
29-year-old.
29 years old, and he gets his opportunity here. Who knows if he's going to get his opportunity this year at the Bulldogs? Who knows?
Gilly, of course, you played for the All Stars in 1994 against Collingwood. You won by 20 points. Your captain was Magic McLean, and your coach was the great Maurice Rioli.
Oh, look, Baz. Look, I played a lot of footy. I played SANFL. I played state football for South Australia. I played Allies. I didn't play as many games as Chrissy, but you know what? That game for me that probably the most memorable game that I've ever played in, because for me, that was, I got a lot of satisfaction out of that game because many Indigenous players in the AFL playing. When I first come on the scene, there wasn't a lot of players playing. There was probably only about 12, 10 to 12. And for us to be able to develop that much and have enough players to actually have a team, sensational. And you look at it now, what, Chrissy, we've got something like 85 Indigenous footballers on the AFL list.
Yeah, it's quite dropped. That was last year. It's dropped back to about 68 now, Gilly. So we've sort of dropped away, and that's what the whole week's been around. It's just trying to get that retention, and hopefully we can build on this and get that percentage up to, back up to around the 12% where it should be and where it used to be as well. As we're just watching the boys come out, the Richmond boys as well, Baz, just come out for their warm up. Our boys have been out there for a little while, but have a look at our coaching staff. We could almost field another team, the All Stars. There's the buddy there, Mickey O, and Adam Goods, Corey McGrath, Roger Hayden, Sean Burgoyne, they're all there. There's a lot of talent there, but we made sure that we weren't able to, make sure that we had the best available coaches to them and the best medical staff as well. We run this like a mini AFL club for 4 or 5 days. We have doctors, physios, we have masseurs, the Alice Spring community. We've had some guys in there come in and do our massage all week. They have been extraordinary. They've been fantastic with us.
What's it been like for the players who's never been to Alice Springs? It's an eye-opener for them. Let's be real about this, Chrissy. It's a unique town, Alice Springs. We're surrounded by so many Indigenous clans. We've got Arranters, we've got Pigeonjarras, we've got Luricha, we've got, there's quite a few more that I could name. But for those players to be actually see that, you walk down the mall and you see your countrymen and all that sort of stuff. What sort of an effect has that had on the blokes?
It's a massive effect, Gilly, because we're our first little bit of induction on Tuesday. Jason Misford, our guy, the guy at the AFL there that works with myself, he asked the question about how many guys haven't been there, and at least 60% of the group put their hand out and have never been here before. So for them to get out here in the community, when they went and done their community visits, we went and visited. Thursday was our community day, so we went out to all the schools. Some remote communities as well, but it's great for them to see this kind of support that they've got. Some of these guys don't even know that they've been followed and closely watched by everyone all over the country, but especially in Central Australia, because our mob out here, Gilly, they never forget a player, and once an Aboriginal boy gets drafted, they jump on him straight away, and that's what they've done. And our boys have just loved the experience as well. So hopefully we can keep this this community sort of spirit going throughout the Indigenous All Stars going in the near future.
Righto, Jono. Before we let you go, you're a busy man tonight. Margins, who's going to win?
I think it's going to be a tough game, Baz. It's going to be very even all the way through, and I think it's going to come down to the last half, just by run and speed and leg, and who's going to be able to use the ball going inside their forward 50. And I'll have to say us by 10 goals.
Good on you, mate. Thanks for joining us tonight. Your company throughout the year in 2013. Chris Johnson joining us. NIRS here tonight, of course, for the broadcast of the big game between the Indigenous All Stars and Richmond, of course, broadcasting through AFLNTv as well. And we look forward to having your company tonight, as well as AFL.com. Down on the boundary line tonight, we have a very, very special guest joining us on NIRS Football. Chris Yarran is down on the boundary line tonight for us, and he's down in amongst the All-Stars at the moment. Chris, and what's the feeling down there with the warm-up?
G'day, mate. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Everyone's nice and sharp down here. The skills are, hitting the target. It looks pretty good. Hopefully some of the boys can show their talent tonight. And I just got one of the assistant coaches tonight in Roger Hayden. We'll just have a quick chat to Rog. G'day, Rog. Just tell us your role tonight and what are you doing team tonight, mate?
Just doing defence tonight for the team.
Just having a little bit of trouble with the mic down there for Chris and Roger Hayden down there, of course, who's one of the assistant coaches tonight. But Andrew Underwood's rejoined us in the box in the broadcast out, and you've got a very special guest to talk to.
Well, the guests just keep coming, boys. It's in and out, and the man that's joining us now is the community engagement manager at the AFL, and Jason Mifsud. He's a well-known part of our team, and he comes on air very regularly. Jace, welcome to the broadcast. You've been in Alice Springs, you've been in South Africa. Is there anywhere else in this country you haven't been in the last few weeks?
No, I have been busy the last couple of weeks, but look, the finish a couple of weeks to travel here in Alice Springs for the All Stars is just unbelievable, and it's just reinforces why, you know, footy's such a great game for our communities, and why, you know, the Indigenous space is, you know, a crucial part of the broader AFL strategy.
So as community engagement manager, it just doesn't encompass just the Indigenous space, it also encompasses the multicultural space as well.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, everybody's sort of acutely aware, by and large, of what we do in the Indigenous area, and we've got a lot more to do, rest assured there. But our multicultural work's growing rapidly, and it probably occupies sort of 60% of my time, you know, in many respects. And when you consider sort of Australia's demographics, 50% of this country either have a parent born overseas or are born overseas themselves, and those numbers are only getting bigger. So we're really excited the work we're doing in the multicultural space. We'll work in over 500 discrete schools this year, and outside of Auskick, it's the second highest participation driver for the AFL, the discrete multicultural work. And the African talent we see coming through our programs will take this game by storm, like our Indigenous boys have.
So talk to me about the group you've got here. You mentioned off air that it's just the average age is sort of 20 or 21. They're weak up here, and I understand you've had a number of chats to them, you know, as a group. How's it been for those young boys coming to Alice Springs and, you know, experience, you know, AFL like build-up?
Oh, look, they've really enjoyed it, and I guess they all come in, especially this group, because it's such a young group. And we've had the retirement of some of the all-time greats in the last 2 or 3 years. So once you've taken the shadow of a few of those older boys away, these young guys have really shone in the spotlight over the course of this week. And many of them turn up feeling pretty unsure about what to expect. But I reckon if I could speak to any of those boys out there at the moment warming up, they'd be feeling unbreakable. And that's the way they'll play their footy. And it's the highlight of the week without question.
Well, you've played, you've coached, so you've pretty much done everything now in the administration role. What's the game style you think they'll put up tonight? Shootout?
No, well, in the end, I know that Mick O'Loughlin, he could coach, and it was interesting you guys are talking about the coaching group. I mean, I'm biased, but without question, this coaching group could coach an AFL team tomorrow. Mm-hmm. They're an unbelievable group of, you know, leaders, and regardless of, you know, strategy and tactics, if your players play for your coach and your coaching group, you are going to be a very hard team to play against. So these guys will be ultra competitive. Mick O'Loughlin's drilled into them what he expects of them in terms of their competitive efforts and their work without the footy. And if we get that right, the instinctiveness and intuitive self. So Mick has really just entrusted the players to play on instinct, but work ultra hard without the footy and put as much pressure on Richmond as early as we can when they do win the ball. So we'll see a lot of pressure, we'll see a lot of work without the footy, and I think the unity amongst the Indigenous boys will shine out, let alone the skill and the other aspects.
Speaking about a bloke who played on instinct, the man to your right and to my left, Gilly McAdam, he's going to be voting for the and presenting the Polly Farmer Medal tonight, Jace. Bit of a recognition of the great man himself, and a bit of a coup for us to have our very own present the medal.
Well, it's sort of interesting. Chrissy Johnson and I, who worked together, we were talking about it the other day, and I sort of got the Polly Farmer medal out of my drawer, and we're just sort of contemplating on who should present it. And we've got Auntie Pam Pedersen, who's presenting the Sir Doug Nicholls Trophy, who Auntie Pam is Uncle Doug's daughter, so she's presenting the trophy to the winning team. But ultimately, when we sort of considered a couple of names, it just became really obvious that, you know, Gilbert, who's Alice Springs boy, a renty man, should, you know, be gifted the honour of, or at least gifted the opportunity to do that. And we're thrilled that Gilbert's, you know, agreed to do it. You know, I met Gilbert 20 years ago and I was a young fella, turned up at St Kilda Footy Club, and even though I didn't play a game, you know, what Gilbert and Nicky at the time, Wimbar, did for me as a young guy is something I'll always remember. And to be able to sort of offer Gilbert a chance to stay involved in the game in a small way but significant way by presenting that medal, it means a lot to me and I'm sure the players.
And you know what, brother, it means a lot to me, because when you rang me up, I was really excited about it. And yeah, you gave me goosebumps, you know, and I just reckon that the way you've done it, it was just really good. And I know I'm an Origin man and this is my country and this is where I first started, but for years to do that, I really acknowledge that. So thank you very much, and I'm sure a lot of these local people would acknowledge that as well.
Yeah, and I think just on that, I mean, I've been really passionate, and we've all worked really hard to keep our past players engaged in our programs in small or large ways, and we see that coaching group, a number of those boys work for us full time now. It's great to have Gilbert on NIRS, and so any opportunity we've got to re-engage our past players, we're looking for them all the time, and tonight's just another example.
Great to have your support, great to have your company here, Jace. We need to take a break to acknowledge our sponsors, and when we come back, some more special guests. They continue to come. You're listening to AFL Action on the National Indigenous Radio Service right across Australia.
Australia, there's no freshness like Coles freshness. I know because I visit the farms. I know just how committed Coles is to Australian farmers and providing the freshest locally grown fruit and veg. Look at all this. And I know how fast we get our fresh produce from the farm to you. Perfect and right. And at Coles, 96% of our fresh fruit and veg is Australian grown. That's why it tastes so fresh. And that's why
there's no freshness like Coles.
The Northern Territory is full of the best stories.
Where I got up close and personal with an Aussie icon.
Which you just have to do. Flying over those waterfalls is just irresistible.
So we jumped straight in and
relaxed in the cool waters with
a few friends on a little charter heading to
a tropical sunset like no other.
The best short break story is available now at flightcentre.com.au or call 131 600 and book now.
The All Stars up against the Tigers. The Indigenous All Stars here at Traeger Park in Alice Springs. Beautiful night for football. A little bit cloudy at the moment, but the All Stars have been out there warming up for quite a while. The Tigers out there as well. Big expectations for the Richmond Football Club, Andrew Underwood, your former club in season 2013.
Yeah, well, they've brought a young group up. There's a few of their big names not playing, but they've still got a couple of players that can really play the game. So it's going to be a really interesting game of footy, Baz. As I say, the guests keep continuing to come through the box in our pre-game, and I welcome Tony Frawley, the Chief Executive Officer of AFLNT. Tony, welcome to the broadcast. Great to have your company, and what a night of footy it's going to be, and what a week of footy it's been for Northern Territory.
Yeah, very good, Andrew, and yeah, thanks for the opportunity to speak. And yeah, no, we've been pleased. About 3 years ago, we decided to have the All-Star game here, which is a bit of a risk in lots of ways, but we thought it was really special to have it in Heartland Indigenous Australia, so we bought it here, and it's been a great endorsement throughout the week with all the players from both Richmond and the All-Stars. What they've done in the communities, particularly outside Alice, has been sensational. So Richmond's been great with their attitude. The All-Stars are actually really good young fellas, and you know, it's great to see the great man beside me here, Gilly, who's a great St Kilda man. And you are St Kilda, aren't you? Not Brisbane.
Yeah, I am, but I'm from Brisbane too.
Yeah, so no, it has been good, Andrew, and look, the attitude of everyone for the whole week's been great, and why not take this game to Central Australia where it's Heartland Indigenous?
Well, Mother Nature got a bit cranky a couple of years ago. The game was set for Darwin, and then it got changed to Alice, and then it got changed to Alice in the afternoon and Alice at night. And but the conditions, you've made a phone call, I think. You've got the big fella upstairs under control because it's just beautiful out there.
Beautiful night, and the ground's fantastic, in great condition. The Alice Springs Town Council and everyone's been just great down here to be able to put on a good show tonight. And we will put on a show. It'll be a really good game. It's the young players, and looking forward to it.
Well, if I can just butt in, we are streaming live on AFLNTv, and we've got Chris Sharon down at Boundary Line. Chris, you've got a very special guest.
Yeah, boys, just got young Jnr Boy here from the GWS Giants. Jared, how's his nerves feeling? And this is your first All Stars game tonight?
Yeah, first All Stars game. Feeling pretty good actually. A little bit of nerves, but I guess boys around me have given me a lot of confidence coming into this game.
Yeah, I'm guessing you looked up to a few of these boys tonight, so it would be a great opportunity for yourself just to get a bit of experience from those boys. So what are you trying to get out of tonight, just to get out there and run some of your heroes growing up?
Yeah, no, definitely. I looked up to blokes like Aaron Davey and those sort of guys who play my sort of position down back. So hopefully it's an honour to play in the All Stars jumper and alongside those kind of guys. So.
There we are, boys. Gerald Dougal. Best luck, bud.
Thanks, Chrissy. Nice work down there. Sorry, Tony, back to you. With AFLNT, there's a bit of talk there's a bit of work being done about getting some of the Central Australian teams, or the Red Tails, as I understand it, to maybe move and play some more games in the NT competition.
Look, it's an exciting concept. Obviously, we've got to sign off on some of the financial issues moving forward, their viability, but it was a really good, successful trial they had. They played 4 games and won 3 of those in Darwin. In fact, they won 2 in Darwin, 1 down here against St Mary's, who haven't won a game since. But it's a good concept, and we'll keep working with the Red Tails guys and see if we can get it up in a couple of years.
I was up in Darwin a few weeks before Christmas, and I just timed it so I could see the Tiwi Bombers play St Mary's at TIO Stadium on the Saturday night, and that was an absolute cracking contest. Tiwi Bombers are just going beautifully. It's a great competition you've got going.
It is, we're keen on more remote teams. We've been working with the Catherine Footy League to put a team from Catherine in the NTFL. We've got Wadair coming in from a community which is 2 hours away, and certainly want the Red Tails. So we want to expand the comp to 12 teams, Andrew, and we want those to be remote. So we've got enough teams in Darwin, so we want to give that opportunity for kids outside Darwin to actually compete in the major league in the NT.
Speaking about special names, the man to your right has just joined us. The man to my left, he's from the Tiwi Islands, and there is no bigger name in NT football than Michael Long. Longy, welcome to the broadcast. It's been a long time, brother, I tell you. Mate, the Michael Long Learning and Leadership Centre, that's when we saw it announced at the start of last year, I think it was. What a fantastic, well, not a concept anymore, what a fantastic thing you've got going up in the NT. So, Tony, it's a $15 million project, and it's going to employ, as I understand, up to 60 people over a reasonably short period of time once it's up and running. What stage are we at the moment?
Timelines, Andrew, are going pretty well. We should turn our first site hopefully in April, and we'll get that going this time next year. Hopefully we're moving into the academy, and our program development's going on currently as we speak. So we'll have our program organised by about early April, and we're ready to go probably this time next year. And one of the real exciting things we can announce today is that we're going to have one at CD University here in Alice Springs. So
fantastic.
We're going to do a partnership agreement with CDU and have a learning centre over there, so we don't have to have the kids travelling to Darwin. The top end will have theirs, and the Central Australia will have theirs. So we're pretty excited about that.
Now, Longy, back in 1988 when Sheeds first came to the Tiwi Islands and grabbed hold of you and said, you better come down to Melbourne, and you trundled down to Windy Hill in played your first year in 1989. We were at West Times, but West Times before that. You were a very quiet man back then. You had a very dry sense of humour. You played the guitar, you sung a bit. Could you ever imagine, as a 20-year-old back then, in your wildest dreams, that you'd have a $15 million building named after you that's going to employ 60 people in your hometown of Darwin? Well, it's a credit to you. It's a credit to you, Tony. You do some amazing work. I love getting up to Darwin. I'm up there 2 or 3 times a year. It's we lived there as a kid, and I call it God's country because I don't need an excuse to get up there and get out to the Tiwis and try to find a very unlucky barrow or two from time to time.
Thanks, Andrew. No, it is exciting. As Vic said, we don't want to send them off along to Melbourne anymore unprepared. We want to send them down when they come into 12-year-old into our academy. They've had 6 years of development, see what they need to do, and at 18 is ready to go. So we know that some of the players have gone recently, have come back and haven't been successful. We don't want it to happen, and the academy will fill that void.
Yeah, the biggest problem you have with obviously Indigenous, men and women coming down to the big smoke, you like the likes of Jnr Boy, Rioli, who went to school down there. It sort of eases the transition because he's in that lifestyle for a long period of time. A lot of those boys, you don't pluck them out of obscurity, but they come out of a warmer climate. They go into the cooler environments. It's different for them. We've seen Liam Jarrah and the other guys have gone back. Zeph Skinner has gone back to the Kimberleys, and it must be very, very hard for the boys. Back in your day, Longy, it was extremely hard. I know there was a few other players that came down with you, but it takes a while to acclimatise to a different environment. So having that build-up is going to give them a lot of assistance. Before we let you go, the NTFL competition, or AFLNT, I need to get a tip from you. Do we think the Tiwi Bombers can go top? For our listeners, particularly through the TIBA network, we've got Cyril Rioli Senior listening to us tonight. He was pretty keen to tune in. Who's going to go top, boys? Can you give us a bit of insight?
Been the answer again. See what they did on their day. They could kick 75 goals and win the game. So it's a close competition. Wanderers actually are moving up as well. So tomorrow, as Michael said, St Mary's play Tiwi Islands and Bathurst tomorrow. Fantastic. There's a game over there tomorrow.
Fantastic.
So it is good, but Saints are a bit of a measuring stick at the moment, but they are beatable.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time to have a yarn. It was in our pre-match. It's a fantastic, it was not a concept, it's a fantastic initiative to have games in Central Australia. Looking forward to the game, boys.
Hang on, brother.
The All Stars by plenty.
How you going, brother?
It's fantastic. We've got it here the first time in Alice Springs. It's quite a proud moment when you see the people.
You reckon we'll win tonight? I hope so.
You think the All Stars?
Oh, we're pretty good. We got quick.
All right, we need to take a break, and when we come back after the break, the guests keep continuing, and we're not too far away from our first match. You listen to AFL Action on the National Indigenous Radio Service right across Australia.
Going to join in with darker?
It is the big game between the Indigenous All Stars. 2013, they take on the Richmond Tigers. And there's a big crowd building here. Good atmosphere as well. Andrew Underwood, Jnr McAdam is our expert commentator tonight. Chris Yarran, the champion blue. He's going to be down on the boundary line tonight, just giving us some boundary line reports and talking to some very interesting people in Gilly. Not too far away. A little bit of weather is blowing in at the moment.
Baz, this is what normally happens. The dust is starting to pick up. A little bit of a rain coming through. It won't last long, I'll guarantee you. But you know what? You think a lot of people here for the Aboriginal All Stars. Well, they're not, Baz and Undies. If we look to the left over there, you see all the mad black and yellow streamers over there. Well, that's all the people from Arionga. And that's a community outside of Alice Springs, probably about 45, 50 kilometres out west of Alice Springs. All the Richmond players, and they took them out there, and they had a great day. Darryl White took them out there during the week for the camp, and I know they're really excited. So it's good to see, not just All Stars here, Richmond supporters.
Good to see DJ White as well. He's looking fit, Gilly.
He is, and I think he's coaching in Victoria this year. And
well, he said he was going to go back to Nia West to have a bit of a trundle around, depending on how the knee goes. He's just turning 63 this year, DJ White is.
What? Oh, no, he's not that old.
He's been playing since Moses was playing halfback for Jerusalem.
I'll tell you even something more to talk about. He played his first reserves game last week for St Mary's. Mate, they've got him lined up for the grand final. I think the finals are played in another 2 more weeks in the NTFL. Darryl White might play for the grand final for St Mary's in March.
Well, what we can do, we'll be able to get a first-hand view of what's happening in the NTFL, because we're going to get Charlie King on the phone very, very shortly.
He'll know a lot about what's happening. It'll be great to see Charlie. Great man, Charlie King.
Now, gents, we should touch on what has been a pretty horrific week as far as Australian sport is concerned. Well, just briefly, Australia Sport, well, it's seldom been like it was on Thursday when it was revealed that the use of new age performance-enhancing drugs is widespread amongst today's sports. The ACC's report, which focused primarily on 2 major sporting codes, also exposed an alarming link between sportsmen, organised crime and the illegal drug trade, which the ACC fears could be exploited to coerce athletes into match fixing and other criminal activity. There's plenty going on. We don't want to labour on it tonight because there's really not much more to be said about it. But as ex-players, as you are now, and both in the media, I'll start with you, Undies. Just briefly, a bit of a shocking week.
It's been a horrible week. When I first heard about it, I got a bit of a whisper last week that there might be something coming out. For my wildest dreams, I never thought it'd be to the extent that it is. All I'll say that if it's proven true, the people that have done the wrong thing need to be held accountable, and they need to be banned, I'd say, forever. But that being said, if they've got the evidence, the ACC and ASADA and WADA and all the lots of acronyms, name them and shame them and suspend them, and let's move on.
Gilly, quickly, your thoughts?
No, look, I'm like Undies. I was absolutely shocked, and I just couldn't believe that I was actually reading it in the paper and seeing it on the news. But you know what? I'm like Undies. The quicker they can hurry up and identify who the culprits are, the quicker we can get on with our great game. But more importantly, we can get on with it because they're painting everybody in the same brush at the moment. So they need to be careful. Everyone needs to take a deep breath. Just find the culprits and move on. Undies, I agree with you.
Yeah, I mentioned before when we just came back from our break that we wanted to find out what's going on in the NT competition. We had Tony Frawley and Michael Long, but let's get it right from the horse's mouth. And the doyen of radio commentating in the Northern Territory is the one and only Charlie King, and he joins us now. Charlie, great to have your company. Yeah, no, we can hear you fine, Charlie. Thanks for spending a bit of time with us. The AFLNT competition, it just goes from strength to strength. I was up there pre-Christmas and watched a couple of games of footy, and it was just fantastic to be there. Well, we might just see if we can continue on, Charlie. What we did want to talk to you about, if we can. Well, we've lost Charlie. We'll let Charlie go and we'll see if we can get him back.
Technical gurus can sort out that line. But the Indigenous All Stars have actually entered the arena, as have the Tigers. So we're not too far away from the bounce, Gilly, as well as the welcome to ceremony as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we've got some people from the Luratupa, and that's the traditional people of this country, Alice Springs. And we've got Michael Little, and we've also got somebody Turner. But anyway, they're traditional people of this country, and they're going to do the welcoming. We've just had the bit of entertainment from Manuel Durkay singing a song. So, no, look, it's got off to a good start at the moment.
Well, set the game up, Gilly, with, as I say, both sides are out there. Yep, you'd imagine you'd have to lean towards the All-Stars.
No, look.
You're not?
No, look, honestly, mate, I think because of the young kids that are playing, I actually think that they're going to get a bit nervous, you know, because I don't think they've got enough experience in the side. I know Richmond have come here to win. There's been articles in the Herald Sun that I've been reading in Melbourne. I spoke to Choco, the great Mark Choco Williams, on my plane coming here, and I said to him, are you here to win? He said, we are. And I just think with the amount of experience they've got in the side, I actually feel that Richmond will win this game. Don't ask me the amount, but I just think that Richmond will win.
Let's go down to the boundary line to Chris Sharon, another very special guest.
G'day, boys. Here with Roger Hayden. Rod, just tell me how the boys are looking and what are the nerves like?
Boys have been pretty good at the moment, so they had the music going before, sort of settled their nerves a little bit. They've been at the camp for the last 5 days and gelling really well, and so boys are looking pretty good. They're sharp, just doing the drills before, and Nicky O just gave them a good little speech there, so they're up and about at the moment, so hopefully they can get off to a good start.
Very good, that's what we all want. So tell us about your nerves, Bud. First time coaching the All-Stars, so what are your expectations of the boys tonight?
I'm okay at the moment. I think when the game starts I'll be able to settle down a little bit. So I did a little bit last year in the coach's box with Freo, but I think I'll be okay.
No worries. There we have it, guys. Roger Hayden.
Well done, mate. All the best. Good work down there, Roger Hayden, the Fremantle superstar undies.
Yes,
assistant coach too, fellas, at Fremantle Dockers.
Assistant coach. Good to see he's continuing his post-footy career in the coaching. Let's see if we can go back to Charlie King. Charlie, we got you again.
Good on you, Charlie. Thanks for your time. We appreciate it. When you're watching us, don't critique us too hard. He's one of the great broadcasters, Charlie King. Unfortunately, couldn't be here tonight, Undies, but great to have him a part of the pre-match broadcast.
Tell you what, Charlie King is one of the best in the business, and we thank ABC for letting him come on air, and the ABC have also allowed us to, utilise Charlie's services from time to time. If we can get him down to Melbourne, he's just a very busy man, Charlie, and he does some terrific work in Darwin, particularly with that No More campaign.
He has recognised for his work in the Northern Territory Indigenous communities in particular towards eradicating violence against women, is what Charlie was talking about there, and has directly worked with men's groups in Territory communities for a long, long time. In fact, the No More campaign was actually released in Melbourne.
Is that right?
Yes, it was, and it's for right across Australia, not just the Northern Territory, and Charlie does a great job with it. In fact, in 2009 he won the White Ribbon Ambassador of the Year award due to his work that he does. So good on you, Charlie. We appreciate your time. Sad you're not here tonight.
He should get an Order of Australia, I reckon.
Both sides moving into position at the moment, the Tigers and the All Stars. So, Gilly, down there, we are going to have the Welcome to Country.
Yeah, look, Welcome to Country by Luratupa representatives Amelia Turner and Michael Little. And there's that young kid there. He's got the Arianga, or should I say the Richmond Guernsey. He's going to toss the coin, I reckon. What a great moment that'll be for him. I don't know if he is, but he looks like he's going to be doing something.
What's the crowd, Gilly?
Look, I was talking to a few people from that know the crowd and the capacity, and they reckon we might get 7,500.
That's a excellent crowd. It's the first hit out for season 2013 in AFL football. The biannual match between the Indigenous All Stars, and tonight it's against the Richmond Tigers. The Indigenous All Stars about to perform the warm cry in front of the Tigers. All right, how was that? Gilly.
I'm getting goosebumps, mate. I'll tell you what. I originally wasn't a fan of that, but I'm slowly getting adapted to it, and now I reckon good stuff to the fellas, and it's getting the crowd going, and I reckon let's bring it on, fellas.
Well, the All-Stars there, right in the face of your former club, Andrew Underwood, the Tigers.
Well, I've got to say, I was watching Damien Hardwick do throughout that war cry, and as soon as the All-Stars moved away, Dimmer moved towards them, and I reckon if a couple stayed back there, they might have won one. Because Damien Hardwick was as hard as they come, and he'd rather a fight than a feed, that fella. Still, he's still cranky towards his 40th year. So, well, they're up and about, the All-Stars, as you'd expect them to be, Gilly. Very important game. Yeah. They've got 8 first-gamers, and you thought they were the younger of the two mobs.
Yeah.
Richmond have got 9 first-gamers.
Absolutely, but I just think that the Richmond have got more experience in it. Look, for the All-Stars, you're going to see people like young Murray Newman, Amos Frank, we spoke about, the guy from Freegon Mimley. You know, he's going to play his first game, maybe young Bradley Hartman. So, you know, there's a lot of young kids that's going to get an opportunity to play their first AFL game in an Indigenous All-Stars. What a moment for them. And, you know, people like Stephen May, GWS, he needs to start establishing himself. So some players, you know, they're playing for their season here, and now look, all in all, it's very exciting. But I'll tell you one bloke I envy, and that's my young nephew, young Kirtley Hampton. What a great opportunity for him to be playing in front of Auntie Maureen, Uncle, you know, all his uncles, all his cousins, and all those sorts of people. I never got the opportunity to do it in my home country, so I envy him.
Are your brothers here?
My brothers should be here somewhere, and I'm sure they'll be watching the game, Greg and Adrian.
Adrian and Greg. Now, who's the better McAdam?
Oh, well, you know that's a silly question. You know I'm the better one out of a lot of them, and I keep telling them that all the time. But nah, look, realistically, Adrian was probably the best out of a lot of us. I was probably the least best out of a lot of them. But
you played the most games?
Well, probably because I had a good work ethic, I reckon. That's what the key was.
Toss of the coin, Nathan Lovett-Murray. Proud moment for Nathan Lovett-Murray from the Bombers. 142 at the highest level. He went and tossed the coin for the AFL Indigenous All Stars season 2013. And for the Tigers, it was Shane Edwards who went and tossed the corner. Of course, is playing for Richmond.
Yep.
Damien Hardwick wanted him playing for the Tigers tonight, and Mickey O'Loughlin said that'll be okay. And Nathan Lovett-Murray won the toss, and the All-Stars will be going to the left of our broadcast position, the northern end.
That's the northern end. And, Gilly, there's a bit of weather coming. Our resident technical guru, Dean Hodgson, has brought the iPad out and shown us there's a little bit of weather coming from the south. Hopefully not too much, but there is a bit of a breeze out there.
Yeah, there is a bit of a breeze, and I don't know which end it's actually favouring, but normally I know from the commentary box, the right kicking towards the gap, that's normally the scoring end that I've experienced, that I've played a lot of footy in a year, but I don't know, it depends on how the wind's swirling, I'd say.
Well, the season about to begin somewhat, this one, the exhibition match, the biannual affair between the AFL Indigenous All Stars and the Tigers.
Fellas, just before we go, that end, we call it the town end.
Where the All Stars will go, in the ruck, Paddy Ryder, Leroy Jetta at his feet. And also in there, Aaron Davey, who was right at the front of the walk right at the start. And Davey picks up the footy from the tap from Ryder, kicks inside forward 50, and the lead was a ripper. An absolute beauty, and he put it straight onto the chest of his teammate in Liam Jones.
Yeah, Aaron Davey, he's actually playing in the centre today, and good role for him. He had a probably disappointing last year, but I'll tell you, he's looking forward to this year, Bass.
Liam Jones, 45-degree angle. Have to kick it 50 metres, Gilly. Early stages of 2013. Let's see what he's got in his boot. Steps up right on the 50-metre line. The drop putt, not bad off the boot. It comes back. Beautiful. It's a beauty. The All-Stars are on the board. One straight goal. The Tigers yet to score. We're just seconds into the match. And Gilbert McAdam here for the NRS and AFLNTv here on a beautiful night at Traeger Park, Alice Springs.
Yeah, great kick for goal. He was right on the 50-metre line. He kicked it straight. There was no wind that affected that, fellas, so I don't think the wind's going to have an effect on the game.
So back in the middle of Traeger Park, and the umpire is about 2 foot tall.
Fellas, just quickly, Brett Goods, the brother of Adam, he's playing at centre back. Nathan Lovett-Murray full back. Liam Jones centre forward, and Graham John Cock full forward.
So Ryder a tap to Jetta. He hacks it towards the broadcast side of the ground. No All-Stars home. So Jackson picks up the loose ball. He goes with the right foot. A long searching drop punt down towards right half forward. But a beautiful mark taken by the All-Stars in defence is Lovett-Murray. So the skipper leading from the front goes back inboard. Plenty of plays to choose from. They can rattle it. They share the football around. The ball now in the hands of Stephen Motlop, spearing pass into centre half forward. And Liam Jones again. So he's already creating headaches for the Richmond defence. So Gilly breezed at his back. He'd be a silly chance from here.
Yeah, I reckon he could kick it from there.
He just leans back on the ball, right to the goal face. Won't make the difference. Off hands, All Stars have it front and square. Eddie Betts in there. Does some nice work, and he bustles the ball out of bounds for a boundary throw-in a few metres around from the point post.
Liam Jones, the son of Bobby Jones, ex-St Kilda football player.
Boundary throw-in at 20 metres around from the All Stars goal. Martin tries to bust his way through the pack for the Tigers. Diving on top of the football for the All Stars was Liam Jones again. Pushes it out. Little toe poke in towards goal. Dribbles across the face. Does it stay in play? It does. Tigers in possession through Jackson. Little underground hand pass to Nahas. About 30 from the goal he's defending. Clever bit of work as he kicks back towards the wing. Bouncing ball in dispute. Grabbed by O'Hanlon. Little hand pass out towards Edwards. Edwards goes inboard again with a hand pass to Conker. Kick over the wing towards White. And he takes the mark in front of Big Paddy Ryder.
So White goes to centre half forward. Found a little bit of space. Edwards takes a mark at centre half forward. Feeds it off the running O'Hanlon on the left. He just loads it up to the goal line. And McGuan, I think it is, playing up forward, normally a backman, Gilly. Luke McGuan takes a mark on the goal line.
I like that move of him, giving him an opportunity up in the forward line. I mean, Edwards is up there also, the ex-North Melbourne player, so maybe Damien Hardwick's going to trial and error tonight, fellas.
So Luke McGuan, point-blank range, kicking to the gap end of Traeger Park. And you imagine he'll make no mistake.
Both sides making changes already.
So bang, he goes. So a goal apiece, 3.5 gone in the first term. Let's go down to Chrissy Aaron at boundary line.
G'day, fellas. I'm here with young Harley. Yep, I'm here with Harley Burnell, boys. Harley, just give us a brief run through. How's your nerves feeling today, bud?
Yeah, not too bad.
Good blowing early, bud.
Yes.
The heat getting to you?
Hot heat up here, it's wet and wicked.
Yeah. There we are, boys. You got young Harley Burnell. It's going to be a future Brownlow medalist for the Gold Coast Sun, I reckon.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, I'm going to call it early because he's such a superstar. I've played him a few times this year, and I'm going to say it early, but I'm going to back my word to it.
Chris Yarran, Brownlow, Harley Burnell down on the boundary line with our man tonight, Chris Yarran down there, the blue superstar.
Young Harley can play, don't worry about that.
So a good start from both clubs, 1 goal apiece, and we're 4 and a bit into the first term. 17.5 minute quarter will be played. Up goes Stephenson. First hit out for the Tigers tonight. Hit down to ground level. Leroy Jetta streams out of the middle for the All Stars. 55 out. Have a look at that! Ripping goal brings up number 2. And the Bomber does it well. 2 straight goals are the All Stars. The Tigers 1 goal, 4.5 first term, Gilly. And an explosive start from both sides.
Yeah, look, it starts in the centre, and Paddy Ryder, great tap there. Alan Davey, that's an interesting one on the ball, and he got it out to Jetta. Jetta didn't muck around, kick it straight down the guts. I'll tell you something, fellas, this oval, it's a very big oval, and it's got really wide wings. It's going to suit the Indigenous guys in terms of their speed, and especially their skill, I reckon.
So back in the middle, 5 gone on the first term. It's a free-flowing contest thus far. Ryder gets first hand on the footy again. Comes to Martin, though. He's a ball through traffic. Loses the football. Umpire says you're gone. And a good tackle. It'll be a free kick to the All-Stars. So at half-back. He comes to the Davey direction at centre wing. That's Alwyn Davey. Little Froggy Davey, the Bomber, and it went through the fingers and out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. Right in front of the broadcast position. Great to have your company. Friday night footy on the National Indigenous Radio Service.
And through AFLNTv tonight. Great to have your company. Boundary throw-in. True wing position broadcast side. Free kick to Thomas, who was caught high. So another player who's hoping for a big season. This time with the North Melbourne Kangaroos. Tonight with the All-Stars. Onto the left boot. Inside forward 50 with a 50-metre drop punt. Big leapers, no mark. Full of the ball. Richmond work hard. Hand pass comes out to Jackson again. A little bit of space at half-back. Went for Edwards. Over his head. Got to chase after it. Coming the other way was Amos Frank, who sees the ball out of bounds. Halfway between wing and half forward for the All-Stars. They're up by 6 points. 2 goals to 1. The All-Stars way early stages.
Yeah, good story, Amos Frank. We'll get Gilly to talk about that at quarter time because he came from West Torrens and now on the Hawthorn list. A mature age player, Gilly, at 24.
Yeah, great story from a place called Freegon and Mimley.
So Froggy Davey bangs the All-Stars into attack. Jones flies high and clunks one. Ho, is he up and about, Gilly?
Isn't it interesting, when he plays at the Bulldogs, he doesn't get this much ball like that, and the boys are just hitting him on the chest. It just goes to show you play in a good side, you can become a different and exciting player.
Well, he is at the moment. They're just chipping into space. He's running in, and he's got his tail up. He took a beautiful mark, 30 out from goal, directly in front. And you'd imagine this should be his second. Not bad off the boot. Umpire doesn't move a muscle. 2 to Jones, 3 to the All-Stars, 7 gone in the first term. And the All-Stars lead by 12 points. Here's Gilly McAdam for NIRS footy.
Yeah, no, look, he's not your traditional tall centre forward, but I'll tell you something, he's quick. And you've got to get it. The centre back's either going to have to play in front of him, or he's going to have to play right next to him. But anyway, all in all, he's started off really well, young Jones.
Curtly Hampton's just come on the ground, Gilly. That's what the big cheer's for.
Well, that's family. Half of them are mine as well. So, no, look, it's great to see him come on and get out there, Curtly. Let's go, mate.
Only half of them, Gilly.
Oh, yeah, well.
Fair dinkum.
There's a few of them out there.
Liam Jones with a couple of goals. The Bulldog, is he going to have a big season this year? Wouldn't the Bulldogs love him to? Paddy Ryder, a big leap in the ruck. Now the umpires pluck one. Player caught high. It's going to be a Richmond free kick. And it's going to come back to the centre of the ground to Tuck. Hand pass to Conker. Outer side wing. Skips. Looks low with the eyes and delivers nicely to Edwards. Of course, the former Kangaroo, now Tiger in 2013. Aaron Edwards, he's about 65 from goal. He drills it to the forward pocket. Players fly. Big fist, Courtney Dempsey, and the ball hits the boundary line about 20 metres around from the Tigers' goal. They trail by 12 points, and we're 8.5 minutes into the first term.
So, streaming live on the NIRS network and AFLNTv. And in she comes. Stevenson just stands at the back, comes to White around the corner, bouncing ball. The All-Stars have numbers, and they just share the footy around. Aaron Davey has it, tries to spear it past to Stiffy Johncock, and he couldn't complete the mark, and the ball goes out of bounds. Tell you what, Graham Johncock looks in good nick, Gilly.
Yeah, no, look, he is, and I reckon it's fair to say that he had a disappointing year last year, and I'm sure he'd want to have a big one this year.
The big Stevenson in the ruck with Paddy Ryder over the back. Edwards for the All-Stars, taps to ground level on hands and knees. It'll hand pass. Comes out the back of the pack. Players tackled. The footy hits the deck. The umpire's whistle goes. Free to the Tiger. Conker plays on. Quickly kicks the full forward. Off hands back down to ground level. Running out and delivering nicely with a little hand pass, and the All-Stars are away. Bouncing off half back. Kicking towards the centre of the ground. Missed the target. And the mark's been taken down there for the Tigers by Stephen Morris.
Yeah, turn the footy over. Bennell has it at centre wing. He's going to win a Brownlow medal, apparently. It's according to Chris Yaron. That handball missed his intending target in Davey. Nice work by Conker. He relieves the ball, gets the ball and gets it to Morris. Had a terrific season in 2012. Handball to Jackson, back to the running Morris. Shrugs off the tackle.
Good tackle.
But he just got foot on the football, and it spills to the All-Stars. On the counter-attack, what can they do? They can build. Bennell runs. He just looks forward, he measures it. Curtly Hampton hits him lace out. So Gilly, he's a little bit beyond him, you think?
Yeah, I reckon he's probably 3 or 4 metres just out too far. He should just centre it to the goal square, Curtly.
Well, he heard you. He goes right to the goal line and missed the whole lot. Maybe the breeze got a Gilly because it was good off the boot, but it just went and out of bounds on the full.
Harley Bennell, he's looking like his mentor, Hunt, with the beard, doesn't he? He's got the new look for 2013.
Brandon Ellis got the free kick in the back pocket for the out and the full, wearing the Guernsey number 5 for the Tigers in 2013. Beautiful 45-metre drop punt. Oh, big leap from the back of the pack and a good tuck taken by O'Hanlon. So for the Tigers on defensive 50. Goes very, very short, looking for Conker. Didn't get there. Footy hit the deck. Opportunity for the All-Stars as Lewis Jetta runs around. Always dangerous. Kicking towards Hampton again. Did he mark it? Big fly. No mark. Footy hits the deck and runs out of bounds. Boundary throw in about 25 metres. Around from the All-Stars goal. Gilly, good sprightly start.
Yeah, no, it's a good start. The All-Stars 3 goals to Richmond 1.
Plenty of plays in the contest. Ball at ground level. Asprey just hacks it out of defence. Nicely done by Hanlon again. Very smart footballer, according to one of the assistant coaches in Brendan Lade. Ball at ground level. Umpire says, oh, free kick. It's going to go to the Tigers. The players getting up on the bottom of the pack, not overly happy. And young Robbie Nahas will have the footy half back on the outer side of Traeger Park.
Yeah, not a lot in it, but I reckon he would have slung him, and I'm not too sure, but it looked like it was a free kick for a sling.
Goes short to Reece Conker, who's had a fair bit of it in this first quarter. Goes back to Nahas with a kick, still at half-back. The Tigers, Bonnell stands the mark for the All-Stars.
Interesting to see Robbie Nahas playing in the back line for them, Richmond.
Chips back to Asprey. He goes short to Verrier. He kicks it back out towards Ellis, who's made position defensive side of the wing broadcast side. Runs around, goes onto the right boot, and the delivery's okay, and a mark taken by McIntosh. They play on the Tigers and work at the half forward, and coming out taking the mark is Todd Elton. Young man from the Dandenong Stingrays. 65 metres from goal. He goes long and high towards full forward. Big fist on it by Nathan Lovett-Murray over Stevenson, and the ball goes out of bounds. 20 metres around from the Tigers' goal as they search for goal number 2. 3 goals are the All-Stars. The Tigers 1 goal, 12 points up. The Indigenous All-Stars, 12.5 first term.
So ball spinning back into play. May at the front gets fist onto it. Goes to his teammate at the Suns in Bonnell to Jetta. Another Jetta in Lewis this time. Just lobes the ball towards centre wing. Campbell's got it. Spins on that familiar left foot. Running in the flight of it. Trying to get it on the first bounce is Eddie Betts. A clever play. Gets rid of his opponent. Picks up the ball. Gathers and goals. Eddie Betts, you're guilty. We've seen it for many a year, Gilly McAdam. When he gets goal forward, no one's going to catch him.
Yeah, no, look, he's slippery. He's like a snake. They try to grab him, but it just slips through their hands. But more importantly, he's so skillful, Eddie Betts. What a year he's going to have at Carlton. Looking forward to it.
Well, Gilly, a sprightly start from the All-Stars. I've said it a few times, but they're 3 goals up now, and I think it's 5-1 the All-Stars way in the game. So a good start here tonight.
Yeah, well, I said that they might be a little bit nervous, but sometimes the exuberance and the youth sometimes can be good.
Bounce of the ball in the centre of the ground. They go at it again at ground level. Working it out towards the outer side wing. Exuberance.
Well, yeah.
There's plenty of exuberance from the All-Stars at the moment. Jared,
well, they don't know what to expect there, so sometimes that's a good thing.
Umpire's blown the whistle, throw it up again, and he does that beautifully. Little tap down in the ruck by big Stephen May, down towards the wing outer side of the ground. Grabbed by Elwyn Davey, and a short kick towards half forward is 6 again, the All-Stars.
Young Newman,
left foot drop punt, right forward pocket. Oh, Eddie Betts flies, but doesn't take the mark. The ball eludes his fingers and bounces out of bounds, right forward pocket. 18 points up, the All-Stars, 14.5 first term.
That's what the crowd come for, Baz. They want to see some spectacular marks.
They'll see plenty of that, I think.
Beautiful night for footy. Friday night, great to have your company review listing right across Australia, or streaming on the various websites. AFLNTv. O'Hanlon at half-back. I reckon this bloke's got a bit of ability. A spearing ball to Aaron Edwards at centre wing. A long way down from his forward post. He just chips it inboard. Young White has it. Not a lot of run forward, Gilly, is there, for the Tigers?
No, there's not. And one thing about this oval, you'll find plenty of empty spaces if you're prepared to run, undies.
So Williams has got it. And he just chips it towards centre wing. White somehow gathers it at the crumb. Runs his full measure, almost run down from behind, but he gets the kick away. Goes into a teammate at Crum. Whoa, it's going to be a free kick. Yeah, it's going to go to Todd Elton. Yep. His attack of the ball was good. Umpire said his arms were chopped, and that's good enough to be awarded a free kick.
Undies and Baz, one thing I've noticed so far in this game is they're not really playing their zones like they normally do, and I reckon they've sort of more gone to a one-on-one sort of scenario, and I reckon that's great because people want to see some football and some exciting stuff, and they probably don't want to see all this zone sort of stuff. And yeah, no, it's good stuff. More positive.
So long ball towards goal. Has it got the distance? Has it got the accuracy? The answer is no to both. And it was rushed through for a behind. So the first blemish on the scoreboard, almost 16 gone in the first turn. The All-Stars, 4 straight goals. The Tigers, 1-1-7.
So they were dangerous. Short kick is very dangerous for the Tigers. Chris Knights, the former Crow, dives on top of it. Holds it up. Goes again. Little hand pass out the back of the pack. They're trying to sort this out, the All-Stars, with Elwyn Davey coming the other way, and they eventually get a free kick to Lindsay Thomas. He was caught high in the pack. So Thomas at half-back. The All-Stars 17 points up. Plays on. Hand passes over the top to Elwyn Davey, the bomber. Onto the left boot. Kicks across the wing. Up they go. Hill can't mark. Spills to the back. Opportunity for Motlop, but the ball runs out of bounds. Well, the boundary throwing about 65 metres around from the All Stars goal.
I've been watching Sharrod Wellingham. Geez, put on a bit of muscle. He's looking big since he's gone to the West Coast Eagles. He might have a big year this year.
How's that haircut going, Gilly?
Yeah, well, I suppose he can afford to do that when you're that good, Undies.
Yeah, pigtails were back in the 70s, weren't they? That's all right.
Well, I certainly wouldn't have had one.
How's your hair going, Undies?
My hair's...
I think you might have had a few in your time.
Yeah, well, I had a ridiculous haircut back then.
You had the long hair, the long locks.
Back to the play. Amos Frank, the boy from West Torrens and the local boy, now on the Hawthorn list. Terrific story. Mature age recruit at 24.
Hope he kicks this for his people.
52, 53 from goal. 45-degree angle. Needs to get every bit of it. It's a floating finger breaker right to the goal line. It's going to be a free kick, is it? Where's the umpire called it? It's going to go to Paddy Ryder.
I think he's paid that as a mark.
He has too.
I don't think Paddy had it for that long, but the umpire's paid it.
Well, Paddy looked at him sideways and said, well, I'm happy to take it. And right on the quarter-time bell, went for 17 and a half minutes, short of quarters because of the heat here in Alice Springs. Paddy Ryder will extend the lead out to 4-1 if successful. Slight angle, no distance, comes in, slams it home. So at quarter time, it's the All Stars. 5 straight goals, 30, leading the Tigers 1-1-7. They've been an entertaining quarter of footy, Gilly. How'd you see it?
Yeah, no, look, the All Stars are all over them at the moment, and the Richmond fellas seem to be chasing them all the time. And no, you can see the All Stars have definitely come out to play tonight, and you know they were excited when they kicked the first goal. I think they ran from everywhere. There was about 20 blokes there congratulating him. So there's a lot of passion and feeling for the All Stars. I don't see a lot of passion from the Richmond guys at the moment.
We'll go to a quick break. You're listening to AFL action right across Australia on the National Indigenous Radio Service and also streaming live on AFLNTv.
Australia, there's no freshness like Coles freshness. I know because I visit the farms. I know just how committed Coles is to Australian farmers and providing the freshest locally grown fruit and veg. Look at all this. And I know how fast we get our fresh produce from the farm to you. Perfect and right. And at Coles, 96% of our fresh fruit and veg is Australian grown. That's why it tastes so fresh. And that's why...
There's no freshness like Coles.
The Northern Territory is full of the best stories.
Where I got up close and personal with an Aussie icon.
Which you just have to do. Flying over those waterfalls is just irresistible.
So we jumped straight in and
relaxed in the cool waters with
a few friends on a little charter heading to
a tropical sunset like no other.
The best short break story is available now at flightcentre.com.au or call 13...
By 23 points. Very special guest joining us, Matt Conlon from the NT government, the NT Sports and Tourism Minister. Welcome, Matt.
Thank you, boys.
What a great game we've got, and what I wanted to grab you on, if we can. Gilly mentioned in our pre-game the toss of the coin. There was a young Indigenous kid out there, and as I understand it, you grabbed him out of the crowd because he went to school.
I did. I walked up. I thought, look, they said, do you guys want to toss the coin? Is the Minister for Sport, we're going to toss the coin. I said, look, the last thing you want to see is another politician out there, hogging the limelight. So I went and I just plucked up one of those guys up there and I said, who wants to toss the coin? They didn't quite understand what I was saying, so someone was translating for me, and then they got the message. So were giving me some money at first. I said, look, no, I don't want the money, just come out and toss the coin. And I said, did you go to school today? And he went, oh, yeah. And I thought, oh, yeah, okay, maybe, but it doesn't matter. Come along. But that's the message. You've got to get into school, got to get an education. That's what it's all about. And of course, that's what all this leadership stuff's about. Football is just a part of this. It's one little component. It's about role models. It's about setting the right example. And these guys down here, this Indigenous team, these All Stars, and of course the Richmond Footy Club, and I think AFL in general, are doing just that. And these guys are absolutely stoked.
Well, you'd be aware, Matt, that one of our partners the last couple of years has been Learn, Earn, Legend, and Gilly's an ambassador, if you like, for Learn, Earn, Legend. Stay at school, get a job, and ultimately the kids listening out there, they can be a legend like Gilly McAdam. He's going to be awarding the Polly Farmer Medal tonight,
that much.
And the grandstand's named after him, so that's what it's all about.
Exactly right. It's great to have you back here because you played out here a number of times. Gilly, what do you think of the ground?
I told Baz never been here before. It's like the MCG. It's just as good as the MCG. The surface is absolutely magnificent. I know the dimensions is exactly the same as the MCG. But Matty, what I wanted to ask you was Darwin's loss was Alice Springs' gain. Absolutely. And me being a former Alice boy, I was really excited. The whole town's excited. But one thing I wanted to ask you was the contract finishes this year. Is that true?
No, we've got one more year to go. So we're in the 4th year of a 5-year contract. But look, I made a commitment. At least an in-principle commitment, because these sorts of things do cost a lot of money, that we want to retain as much AFL in the territory as possible, and we want to see as much down here in Alice Springs. I mean, Darwin's fantastic, but Alice Springs, really, particularly for this kind of competition, I think it's a natural fit to have the Indigenous All Stars playing in the centre of Australia. It's just brilliant.
All right, appreciate your time, Matty. We know you're a very busy man. I know you want to get back to watch the footy. All Stars or the Tigers?
Tigers for me, but it's not looking too good.
Well, they'd want
creation, as they say.
They'd want to extract the digit. Thanks for your time. Appreciate all the work you're doing.
Yeah, pleasure. Thank you.
So that's Matt Conlon, the NT Sports and Tourism Minister from the NT government. Now, Gilly, put your headset back on because the All Stars are going to be kicking into the breeze, kicking towards the gap end of Traeger Park. What's the tack they'll need to take in this quarter?
Yeah, look, I just reckon that they need to go. Not just the wing towards us, they need to go on the outer wing. That's the scoring end. The outer wing, they need to bring it on the outer wing. I know when Richmond was using this side, they came on the wing closest to us. That's not the way to go on this oval. You have to go the other side.
Chris Sharon downstairs on the bench for us tonight. Chris, what was discussed at quarter time?
Yeah, Mick was obviously pleased with the start that we had in that first quarter. Just, it was wrapped with Jonesy's efforts up forward. He's a big target playing a big man's role in, getting like the guys like Eddie Betts and Thomas getting to the feet was a real plus. So, great start by the boys, but it'd be interesting to see how they go into the breeze this quarter. So,
Chris Sharon down on the boundary line for us tonight. He's in amongst the Indigenous All Stars. He will be right throughout the evening for the NRS and AFLNTv. Well, the ball's been delivered inside forward 50 for the Tigers, but the All-Stars have repelled, and it's now on the broadcast wing in neutral territory. Day over the football for the Tigers. It's pushed out. The umpire blows his whistle. Player on the bottom of the pack will get the free kick. He pushed it out to Vlastwin, who's in his first year at the Tigers, and he gets the free kick for being caught high. Little short kick in towards Shane Edwards. Runs forward of the wing for Richmond. Delivers inside forward 50. Lovett Murray in front of McGuan. Picks it up behind McGuan about 5 metres from the Tigers' goal. Little hand pass to Harbrow. And a short kick to the back pocket is good. And the mark taken down there for the All-Stars by Brett Goods.
Just quickly, both sides are man on man again. They're not zoning, so that's great to see. More positive stuff.
So Motlop gets it, turns on a dime, tries to run one away from Morris, gets a quick handball towards Froggy Davey. No one in front of him. So he has a little bounce, draws a player, then goes by hand. It's Eddie Betts. He just chips it further afield. Thomas it is, on the left boot, right to the goal line. And has my man Stiffy caught the footy? He has. Graham Johncock, the veteran at the Adelaide Footy Club.
Do you reckon he was going for him Mondays, or do you reckon it come off the side?
I reckon it come off the instep. You reckon he was going for him?
Yeah, I reckon he was come off his instep as well.
Off the instep. So Lux of Fortune, Johncock from the pocket.
Benefit of the doubt.
Goes on the check side and this narrow, I think, missed it. Missed it to the near side.
That's why he plays in the back pocket. But good to see him playing up forward tonight. It's great.
So the first blemish to the All-Stars, 5-1-31. They lead the Tigers 1-1-7. 2 gone in the second term. Thanks to our program sponsor, Learn and Legend. Stay at school, get a job and be a legend in your local community.
Long driving kick from fullback for the Tigers, but off hands, an opportunity for the All-Stars again. This time it was Simpson. A little hand pass out that was cut off though. Running from half-back, Martin delivers across the wing for the Tigers. 2 against 1 against Richmond. Bringing the ball to ground level was Hampton. It's the Tigers through McGuan who claim it. Little hand pass to Martin, who was tackled. Slung over the line. Tackled high, said the umpire. And true in position, Gilly gets the mark.
Yeah, look, there was 1 Richmond and 3 All-Stars. That's the difference. They're prepared to run more, the All-Stars.
Yeah, Martin goes in short, missed its intending target. Ball spills, All-Stars with numbers. Newman, he just tries to release a player. And a teammate in Ugal lends him a little bit of support. The boy from the GWS. On the outer side, they can share the footy around. Betts gets it, he looks forward, then he goes back inboard. And Sherrod Wellingham, interesting haircut, comes laterally and he finds Tony Armstrong at centre wing.
So Armstrong plays on quickly, goes for Ryder. He led the half forward and he marks about 65 from goal. Hand pass back to Armstrong. He runs on, delivers inside forward beautifully to Betts. And the Carlton star has taken the mark directly in front, about 45 metres out.
No panic from the All-Stars when they were bringing the ball forward, Gilly. There was nothing on, so they went laterally, ended up in a perfect position.
And I've noticed the skill level of the All-Stars is better than the Richmond players.
So Eddie Betts, who has kicked 1 goal thus far in the match, steps up to the plate. 48 out. Eddie gives it everything he's got, rides it and rides it home. The All-Stars get number 6. They're 6-1-37, 30 points up over the Tigers, who are 1-1-7. As we approach the 4-minute mark of the second term. Gilbert McAdam.
Yeah, look, great goal there by Eddie Betts, and Undy's alerted to us that the level of the skill from the All-Stars is better, and look, they just need to start playing a bit better, Richmond, because at the moment they're not showing very much passion. All-Stars are all over them at the moment. Let's hope that it doesn't get away too far for them.
So McGuan and Paddy Ryder will contest this centre bounce. And you'd have to think that Paddy Ryder will jump over him by about 3 feet.
Good to see Aaron Davey and Edwards, the Indigenous player for Richmond, standing each other.
So down she goes. Paddy Ryder only beat him by 2 feet on that occasion. Gives the All-Stars first use of the footy. Aaron Davey, a high up and under towards centre half forward. Amos Frank's got it. They've got him pushed in the back. Surely, umpire says yes. So we rode him into the turf. And based on his shot for goal before, Gilly, I'd have to say distance is beyond him on this occasion. 52 from goal.
Yeah, I think you'll battle on the 50 line, and yeah, that wind will probably hold it up a couple of metres, Undy. You're right.
So where's his local country?
Amos. He comes from a place called Mimley and Freegon. It's in South Australia, actually, and it's probably about 620-something kilometres, so it's a fair way. I know a lot of them have driven in to come to watch the game.
So it gets pretty close to the man on the mark. I think the man on the mark might have actually got a hand on the footy. Big spoil defensively by the Tigers. Follow the bouncing ball, boys. The All-Stars get there first, and a player taken high right on the boundary line is going to get a free kick. Yeah. Coming in to remonstrate. Well,
yeah, the Tiger was Stephen Morris, Undies, and he felt that there was a bit of staging.
Well, Lindsay Thomas in there. Lindsay Thomas just gives Stephen Morris one to the jaw. Nice little touch it was, actually.
Ooh.
So the umpire, you'd have to think he might reverse this.
Well, the boys want to be careful because we've got a long footy season ahead and they don't want to do anything stupid that's going to jeopardise their pre-season.
Aaron Davey in there, a couple of jetters.
That'll go back to Thomas.
It's going to go to Thomas. So the right forward pocket at the gap end, which is the southern end of Traeger Park.
Tell you what, the All-Stars, Gilly, they came in numbers.
Well, they're showing more passion than the Richmond guys because they all flew in for their teammate. Not many flew in for the Richmond player.
He's going to be assisted the fact that he's a left footer, but the breeze will be across him, so an almost impossible kick. But guess what? He'll probably nail it. He bends it back. Is he bent it back enough? Right to the goal line, front and square. Taken high was Greg. Ball at the ground level. Umpire says, mine, boys. and will bounce it down 3 or 4 metres out from goal.
So a fiery little couple of minutes here as the All-Stars surge forward again. Leroy Jetta sees the ball slip through his fingers. Quick up and under from the Tigers. Nahas underneath it. Ugle spalls down to ground level to Aaron Davey. Hand pass back to Edwards. Little hand pass to Bennell. 45 out and directly in front. Misses everything to the right and out of bounds on the full. Resulting free kick to the Tigers.
The crowd are very quiet at the moment. They're not really getting involved, and maybe a bit later they'll get involved in the second half.
The former captain in Chris Newman brings a footy in. Certainly a veteran. The ball now comes to Dustin Martin. This bloke could win a Brownlow medal, an absolute superstar. He goes across the ground, looking for Greg. It was chopped off. That was Hill. He spirals it in forward. Thomas had it, then lost it. The Tigers just come and try to grab the football out of his hands. Ball in dispute. Martin in there. Umpire says again, mine boys.
Great tackle by Aaron Davey. That just shows the emotion the All-Stars are feeling. He's setting an example.
Momentum well and truly in favour of the All-Stars, Baz.
Yeah, 35 out from their goal. They go to the southern end to the right of our broadcast position in the second term. Umpire's whistle is gone. Free kick to the Tigers on this occasion. And it'll be taken by... Is it McGuan out there? No, it's Tuck. So Tuck's got it. Usually racks up plenty of possessions. Long kick towards the outer side wing. Bouncing ball through hands. Newman for the All-Stars chases it out of bounds. Another boundary throw-in. Just forward of the wing, outer side of the ground for the All-Stars. 6-1-37 they are. Plenty of lightning around the ground. No rain here at the moment. Richmond 1-1-7. 8 minutes second term.
Ball spinning back into play. May and McGuan. McGuan got hand on the footy. Jetta was front and square. Nicely done to Edwards. To Davey. Gets back on the left foot. That's Froggy Davey. Chips it nicely to Newman. On the left, a long ball. It's a finger breaker. It comes out the back of the pack towards Hill. Taken high. Umpire says play on. Somehow the ball lands in the arms of Morris, who just chips it away to Greg. Looks further afield, nothing on offer, and he steadies down. And he'll just kick it long, you'd imagine, Gilly, right down the line.
Yeah, Matt Day, what a great tackle that was from Richmond. He's from the North Ballarat. Good tackle.
Short kick to Martin from Greg, and his short kick's gone straight to Owen Davey. And he goes short to Leroy Jetta, his Bomber teammate. Now he's on the edge of the centre square. Plays on and goes long with a drop punt inside forward 50, and it was a beauty. Running with a flight of the footy was Amos Frank. And he stuck out the arms, plucked it in, rolled on the turf. And he's 50 metres out. He's on a 45-degree angle. Gilly?
That passage of play by Richmond is an example of their skill level. They turned it over. 10 metre short little kick. You've got to go long when you're in doubt.
Amos Frank from 50 metres drops it onto the boot. It'll land short. Fists on the football. Umpire's whistle again. Resulting free kick. This time will go to the Tigers. So Asprey's got it at full back. Kicked short and finds Grigg. Grigg goes short to O'Hanlon, and he's got it at half back on the outer side of the ground.
So he gets on the left, he comes back inboard to Martin, who's starting to get plenty of possessions. Inboard to Conker, wants to get on the right foot. Swings on the right foot now, long searching ball towards Grigg. Between wing and half forward, not a lot moving for him. So he just chips it further afield. And the man he found was... I thought it was Conker. Inboard, Conker's now got it. 55 from goal. Breeze at his back, just launches. And Elton, good mark by Elton. Todd Elton, what do you reckon his nickname is? Ben?
Elton John.
Maybe.
No, look, they needed that mark because their forward line is letting them down at the moment. They seem to get the ball in there, but it seems to come out pretty quick. Be handy if they had a bloke by the name of Rioli out there.
So Todd Elton goes with the check side, and he's got it off the instep and missed the lot straight across the face. So the All-Stars have the momentum, but even though they're 5 guys up, you just sense that the Tigers are just trying to hang in there right at the minute.
Well, that's what it feels like, just hanging in. They're not making any roads in terms of kicking goals. They need to kick goals.
Armstrong from the back pocket. Oh, a big leap in the pack from Josh Simpson. And the umpire's pinged him for leaping too early, and a free kick to Stevenson. For Richmond, had a year at the Cats, and a 50-metre penalty against, it looked like Stephen May down there for not coming back on the mark unless someone ran across the mark, Gilly.
Yeah.
It's going to be brought right in towards goal.
It was actually Courtney Dempsey. Yep. He actually ran across the line and umpire penalised him.
So
good call, umpire.
45-degree angle, the big ruckman. Well, that's a shot for goal.
They need this one, Undies.
Played 8 games last year. He's kicked 1 goal. Debuted in 2012. A mature age recruit, 30 years of age. What's he done, Gilly?
He's just snuck it in.
He snuck it in for a goal for the Tigers. They go to 2-1-13. The All Stars are 6-1-37, 11.5 minutes into the second term. We hope you're enjoying the broadcast through the National Indigenous Radio Service, also through AFL.com, and of course AFLNTv tonight, Gilbert McAdam. So you be on your best behaviour.
No worries. Now, look, I reckon he's a great pickup from Geelong Footy Club, and obviously they need more big men at the Richmond Footy Club. He's going to be a good weapon for them in 2013, fellas.
So Stephenson right into the ruck against Paddy Ryder. And what a career Paddy Ryder has. One of a handful of Bombers playing tonight. So beautiful bounce by the umpire. Slightly favours Stephenson, but Ryder gets hand on the footy. Hill in there. Diving on it was at ground level tuck. Hard as they come. Comes to Jackson. Tigers into attack once again. Only momentarily as Tony Armstrong takes a mark at half back. Comes back inboard. So Jetta, that's the Neville variety. Comes to Goods. On the left. Played in the VFL last year. And got plenty of the footy. Won the medal. And now he's got his opportunity at the highest level, and that kick wasn't great. You give a bloke a rap every time, Baz's going to let you down.
Well, there's hope for a lot of 29-year-olds around Australia because he's got drafted at the age of 29. Unbelievable.
So a long kick back towards the wing. Neutral territory, or shoved in the back was Aaron Edwards for the Tigers, and he'll get the free kick on the wing. So the crowd getting involved now. 4 goals is the margin, the All-Stars way. 6-1-2-1, 37 plays 13.
Just the last 5 minutes, Richmond just starting to maintain possession and just keeping it off All-Stars at the moment.
Lastron, in his first year with Richmond, gives a short kick into the centre to Ellis. Little hand pass to Veria. Kick inside forward 50 though, misses the target. And again, the All-Stars to repel. This time through Armstrong. Short kick out towards Harbrow. Still inside defensive 50 at the 13.5 minute mark of the second term.
So Harbrow, the former Bulldog, now at the Suns. Comes the broadcast side of the ground. Edwards at the front and couldn't complete the mark. Tigers with numbers. Tuck has it. Back to Jackson. Hot on the hammer. It was Davey. It's the Aaron variety, but it comes to Edwards for the Tigers. A spearing ball.
Oh, well done.
But chopped off beautifully. Is that Goods? Dempsey. So Courtney Dempsey, the bomber. And how often does he do that, Baz, across half back for the Bombers? Just floats in and repels an attack.
Well, plenty you'd hope if you're a Bombers fan. They've worked it backwards, actually, to Harbrow in the right back pocket. Bombers haven't had a great week. Neville Jetta has got it inside forward 50. Kicks back outside to Wellingham. So Sherrod Wellingham, of course, now a West Coast Eagle, former Magpie.
He's put on about 5 kilos.
Looks good, doesn't he, Gilly? Put him on the right places, though. Kick the ball out of bounds. Hands about to be thrown on the wing.
You can speak for yourself, Baz.
Yeah, no, I haven't put him on the right places, Gilly.
Yeah, he certainly hasn't been in the paddock close to home.
Not a conversation you need to get into.
I just put the glasses on him, and I'll tell you what, he has got some guns going. But now it's a rider around the corner. It's a bouncing ball. Morris at the back of the pack. Had it, lost it, regained it. Head down, tail up, but coughed up. The Jetta now comes back inboard to John Cook. Runs to 40. Go to goal. Finish. And he does. So the veteran, Graham Johncock, at the ripe old age of 30, kicks his first, and the All-Stars have 7. They got a 7-1-43 leading the Tigers, 2-1-13. The margin went on to score, Gilly. That's 30 points, 15 gone in the second term.
Yeah, no, great goal there by Graham Johncock, all the way from Port Lincoln in South Australia, and what a play he's been for the Adelaide Crows. And you know, he's clocked up 200 games, and you know, I reckon he's probably got another 2 or 3 years left in him. And you know, he's been a great ornament for Port Lincoln and for Adelaide Crows.
Chris Jarrett down on the bench. The All-Stars still firing away. 5 goals leaders now. What's the feeling like on the bench?
Yes, boys. The All-Stars have just got too much class for the minute. You know, the boys are coming off pretty knackered. You know, even though they only played a half. You know, this weather's still just starting to take their toll on the boys. So yeah, the All Stars are clearly in front and clearly deserve winners because they're too skillful and too much class down here, boys.
Got a little bit fired up early in that second quarter down in the right forward pocket there, Chris. Did you get out of your seat or did you make?
Yeah, I did actually. I was quite surprised, but you look at that Morris dude from Richmond and he's a feisty character. I played on him a few times in the last 2 years and he doesn't let anything hold back once he's playing. So he's certainly a player that you want on your team because he just gives his heart and soul for the footy club.
So Lewis Jetta bangs it into the goal line. Taking a crumb was Graham Johncock, and he kicks his second. The old man's on fire. So 2 goals in the space of 3 minutes for Johncock. Takes the All-Stars out to a 36-point lead, if you don't mind. Getting towards half-time. 17 gone in the second term. 8-1-49. That's the All-Stars. The Tigers 2-1-13. The heat is starting to take the toll on the Tigers, Gilly.
Yeah, it is, and Graham Johncock, that's his value. He can lead, take a mark, but also he can go front and square, crumb the ball, pick it up, make it look easy like a little rover. Well done, Graham Johncock. 2 goals.
Yeah, ball back in the centre of the ground. And it's heard down the boundary line from Chris Yarran, who's joined us tonight. Of course, a champion. Carlton Blue, looking forward to his season 2013. He's had a good pre-season, he's told us before the match. Tigers try to work it out the middle. Martin works very, very hard in the pack. Didn't have a lot of mates though, and Leroy Jetta eventually grabbed it off him. Scrubby little kick to half forward was okay. Hill mark, kicked inside forward 50, but the siren beats the All-Stars. There's another opportunity to go goalward, goes begging. It's half-time here at Traeger Park, and the All-Stars 8 goals, 1-49. Richmond 2 goals, 1-13. We'll stay here for a little while because Chris Yarran is heading back out onto the ground at the moment. No doubt he'll catch up with one of the All-Stars and as they're coming off the ground just to see how they're feeling at the moment. 40 degrees today here, Gilly, at Alice Springs, which would be about an average temperature for this time of year.
No, well, actually, it's quite nice out there, Baz. The sun's not there anymore and there's a bit of a wind, so there's no excuses in terms of the weather because it's beautiful out there. It's only 2 quarters and they're only playing 15-minute quarters with time on, so it shouldn't be a problem. I don't know, maybe Damien Hardwick might pump them up at half-time, but the way they're going, the game's going to be going to the All-Stars.
Chris, you're running off with the Reds at the moment.
Yes, that'll keep going after the moment,
and they're looking pretty fresh. The Tigers in that second quarter. But Chris, how did they look down there, mate, as they ran off the ground and ran off right next to them?
Yeah, everyone's pumped up. Obviously a great half by the boys, but they just got to keep that momentum. I think a few of the boys are worried about their time curious that the club give them for the game. So I think, yeah, this half is just going to all guns blazing, and hopefully we can come away with, a few more goals.
Chrissy, you looked like you had a bit of a string in your step, son. You look like you might want to put the boots on a bit of a trundle.
Oh, mate, I've been wanting to put the boots on ever since I got up here 2 days ago. So, yeah, disappointed I'm not blown, but obviously it's a great start by the boys. So hopefully they can hold off and get the win.
At ground level, looks like the wind is going to the northern end. How strong is it?
Yeah, it's pretty strong towards the to your left-hand side, guys. I'm thinking that a bit of rain might be coming because I've seen a lot of lightning appearing. Gilbert?
Look, Chrissy, I'll tell you, in Alice Springs, you get a lot of lightning all around it, but it never rains in Alice Springs. It always rains around it, never rains in Alice.
I hope your word for it, boys.
Well, brother, I lived here all my life. I was born and bred here, so I've got a good idea.
Yeah, well, obviously I want to hold your word to it, Gilbert, so hopefully the rain doesn't destroy this game. And hopefully the brothers can, put on a clinic in this next half and give the crowd what they want.
Who caught your eye, Chris, from the All-Stars in the first half? Obviously, you got a teammate out there in Eddie Betts, and he's looked lively, but for the whole season you play against, you come together for the camp this week for 3 days. Who are the lads that might have caught your eye there and thought, gee, they're going pretty well?
Yeah, I reckon Aaron Davies, given me a huge tick over this last week, just the way he goes about his footy, and it's showing out here today. He's such a class act, and he was obviously disappointed that he didn't get captaincy for this squad because he put his hand up and unfortunately didn't get it. So he's one that really stood out to me over this camp, and he had not a great season last year, but he's looking very fit at the moment, and hopefully he can have a big 2013 for the Melbourne Footy Club.
Go on you, Chris. Chris Yarran down on the boundary line for us tonight, out on the ground, in fact, at the moment. We're going to take a break from the big game, the AFL Indigenous All Stars. They're 8 goals, 1-49, leading Richmond 2-1-13. It's half-time here at Traeger Park. And you're listening to the National Indigenous Radio Service broadcast of this match through AFLNTv and also AFL.com.
Jump on in there, mate. Turn what on? Welcome back to Traeger Park. It's half-time for the All Stars v Richmond clash. It's a 36-point lead to the All Stars, 8-1-49 to the Tigers, 2-1-13. Half-time on the National Indigenous Radio Service. We've got a couple of special guests just to continue the amount of guests we've had through the studio this afternoon and this evening. Firstly, Brett Levy, the General Manager of the National Indigenous Radio Service. Firstly, Brett, welcome. And secondly, happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you very much, mate. I'm 25 years old now.
25? Well, second time around. Well, you're looking very, very sprightly. Good to have you on board. Also, Warren Snowden, Minister for Indigenous Health, and also Veteran Affairs. Warren, great to have your company.
Thanks, mate. Great to be here. Happy birthday, mate.
Thanks, Warren. Thanks very much.
Should we sing to you?
No, don't sing. Just
Well, it depends on how well you can sing, Warren.
I can't sing very well at all, so I wouldn't bother.
Well, look, what a great spectacle we've had. How have you seen the first half? Firstly to you, Warren.
Oh, I think very slick performance by the All Stars. I think the Richmond team will be wondering why we came, because it's been very slick, and I think that probably shows the value of these guys being together for the week. They're obviously bonded as a good bunch of blokes, and they've had good leadership, so I think it's great.
So your two portfolios, Indigenous Health and also Veterans Affairs.
Yep, and Defence Science and Personnel.
Defence Science and Personnel. So look, the National Indigenous Radio Service right across Australia, our AFL footy coverage has been going for 16 years. We are a perfect vehicle to promote the Indigenous Health message.
You certainly are, and actually I was just thinking about it as we were just speaking, having just listened to the Learn, Earn, Legend advertisement. You know, we've got a strong involvement in sending a very big message around health checks, the need for young people to have health checks, all these young guys playing footy here and at home, in their home communities around the Northern Territory, wherever they are, we'd like them all to have health checks, make sure they're looking after themselves so that they can live a longer life. That's the basis for me, is getting people healthy.
Well, Brett, that's something you're personally very passionate about as well. You've got a young family, you've got a house full of kids, and from our perspective, Learn, Earn, Legend have been our partner for a couple of years, and you know, the catch cry of Learn, Earn, Legend is learn, stay at school, earn, get a job, and be a legend in your local community. And the key thing is also stay involved in a sport. We love our AFL, but we don't say, you know, it's not the be-all and end-all, I believe. Play any sport. Yep. As long as you get out there, get active, eat right, and clearly stay at school.
I mean, you're spot on, and that's what it's all about. I mean, I've had 5 boys, and I keep them very, very busy. I keep them basically exhausted every day because they train hard. and they play every sport they can. You keep them busy. And it's for our families, every one of us, and everyone who's got kids, they want to bring them through. And it doesn't matter where you are, any place in this country, you want to bring your kids up as best you can, feed them well, give them that security. And to be honest, the government's been important to that, and we've depended on that from time to time, as you know.
No, thanks, mate. I mean, but I think it is really important. The simple message, really, if you're a parent, you have a responsibility. The responsibility is to make sure your children are brought up in the best possible environment, that they are healthy and they live an active life. Because if you do that, when they get to school and they're healthy and happy, live, learn, earn, legend will be an easy thing to do. But if they're not healthy, if they're not well fed, if they're not looking after themselves, not getting any sleep, they're not exercising, they're going to find it tough. So it's really very important. And we know that young kids of all over Australia, not just Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander kids, who don't exercise properly become obese. They become obese, that's a problem. But more importantly, it means later in life they could have real problems. So we've got to make sure these young people get the best start they can in life. And look, these guys are running around here right now. You know, that is a really good thing. And all these people around this ground here,
Inspired by it.
they're inspired by what these kids are doing. They would have done it themselves or would like to do it themselves. Let's make sure they do.
Our very own Gilly McAdam before the game, there was a young Indigenous lad out there that tossed a corner. We weren't really sure what was going on. And then we heard from Matt Conlon at quarter time, the NT Sports and Tourism Minister. He basically went and grabbed him out of the crowd and said, would you like to toss the coin? But have you been at school? And he said, oh, yeah, I've been at school today.
Yep. So
that's what it's all about.
It is. And now I know that people are getting this idea that what we ought to do is if you want to play footy, you've got to make sure you go to school. If you're a bit older, if you want to play footy, if you're not at school, you've got to be in training or you've got to have a job. So give people a...
50,000 jobs package. How's that progressing? Have you been watching that?
No, I haven't, I must say, but I'd like to think it's working, but I really don't know.
Yeah. We have been tracking it. I mean, that program is pretty well on our radio station from time to time, and we're monitoring it as it seems to achieve. And I think there are some things and some great runs on the board being achieved by that organisation that I think his name now, that fellow, that minister there.
Yeah. But one of the things this week we close the gap, the report, and what we've discovered, what we now know is that our child mortality target to halve child mortality in Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander kids by 2018 is on target. That's a really good thing. So kids, young infants, young children are healthier than they have been. They're living longer. We're not getting infant mortality rates. They've decreased, and that's a really good thing. But the older generation, it's really a lot harder. And we need to do the same thing, bring those gaps together by 2030. We are finding it difficult. And one of the reasons we're finding it difficult is the amount of chronic disease in the community. There's a lot of chronic disease which is preventable. It's environmental disease, it's environmentally induced. It's about people not living a healthy lifestyle, getting diabetes, the whole range of things, eating the wrong foods, not exercising. That's why this message tonight from you guys, watching this game of brilliant footballers playing at the very best, highest level, showing the community what it is like to be healthy, is a really, really good, strong message.
So the message, the key message you want to get out there is for everybody out in the community is to have a health check?
Absolutely. Have a health check. Make sure that you're well, and if you have a health check you're not well, get fixed, and then make sure you live a good, healthy life. See, these signs are out here. Smoking makes you sick. Well, we know that in the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander community, around 50% of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people smoke. In the rest of the community, it's 16%. If we could bring that down, and our objective is to halve it by 2018, we will increase the life expectancy of Aboriginal people across Australia.
I think it's a role for the organisations too, Warren. I think that's what we did in our organisation.
Yep.
And I have a couple of good newsreaders who's given up this year and last year, I should say, and now they're performing very well.
It's a really strong message, you know.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of organisations can take that no smoking campaign on, and it can really work.
Well, some good messages there, both from Brett Leave and also Warren Snowden, the Minister for Indigenous Health. And, well, boys, just to sort of, before we let you go, the game itself, the All Stars are up by 6 goals. Is there any hope for the Tigers, or are they going to get a belting?
From me, none.
No hope?
And listen, the boys are fast. I mean, I'm watching. They had some quick bowlers out there. And I think that's just, I don't think Tigers have got... They're not going to get So, you know, I know you were a Tiger before, mate, but, you know, I'm sure you want to be something else now.
Well, no, I've got to foot in both camps. We've all got to pick the Polly Farmer medalist tonight. I have to say, at the moment, there is no one from the Tigers that's going to figure in the votes, you wouldn't think. But, Warren, it seems like the Heat might have got hold of the Richmond boys.
Yeah, Heat maybe, but I think there's a lot more intensity at the start with from the All Stars boys. This last quarter is a little more even. But Richmond had the wind and they didn't do a lot with it. So let's see what happens in this next quarter. I'd like to think it'll be a little bit closer, but I think, sadly, from Richmond's point of view, I think the All-Stars will run away with it.
Thanks for your time, gentlemen. And when we come back after the break, a couple more interviews. We'll go back to Chrissy Yarran on the boundary and the second half not too far away. You listen to AFL Action on the National Indigenous Radio Service right across Australia and also streaming live via AFLNTv.
Australia, there's no freshness like Coles freshness. I know because I visit the farms. I know just how committed Coles is to Australian farmers and providing the freshest locally grown fruit and veg. Look at all this. And I know how fast we get our fresh produce from the farm to you. Perfect and right. And at Coles, 96% of our fresh fruit and veg is Australian grown. That's why it tastes so fresh. And that's why
There's no freshness like Coles.
The Northern Territory is full of the best stories.
Where I got up close and personal with an Aussie icon.
Which you just have to do. Flying over those waterfalls is just irresistible.
So we jumped straight in and
relaxed in the cool waters with
a few friends on a little charter heading to
a tropical sunset like no other.
The best short break story is available now at flightcentre.com.au or call 131 600 and book now.
for the All Stars matches, the excitement of the people that get to watch a game of AFL footy is just enormous. It brings it back to reality.
No, look, and I actually disagree with Chris because I don't reckon it should be taken out of the territory.
Gilby, you up there, bud?
Yeah, yep.
I just got Peter Berg on down here, bud.
Yeah.
Fire away,
Chris. No worries, Pete. First time doing the All Stars running. How you feeling, bud? Looking in great shape.
Oh, not bad, brother. I'm a bit tired at the moment. It's bloody hot out here.
You're looking great. You're looking fantastic, bud. You reckon you'll be able to put the boots on for one last time and join in for this half?
Of course, brother. Always.
Very good. Too easy. There you go, boys. Peter Burgoyne.
Good work, Peter Burgoyne, superstar, premiership player for Port Adelaide, superstar of the game, and he's running tonight for the All Stars.
Yeah, no, look, good to see Peter getting involved, and obviously he's retired, and now, and you know, like Jason Mitz had said in the preview, to have all these types of blokes in assistant roles. You know, he said it could happen in any AFL club. So those guys, you know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see a lot of them move into that direction. Yeah. And I hope that AFL and Jason Moussad encourage our players to actually become assistant coaches or skills coaches or whatever. Yep. You know, they can make use of them.
Isn't it great to see the AFL community all together after what has been a shocking week? We're not going to labour on it, but it hasn't been a great week for sport in Australia, not just AFL.
Isn't it funny that when the game's footy started...
That's right, you forget about it.
I've forgotten about it. And it's only because you just said it, now you brought it back to my head. But I forgot all about it once this game started.
Today we were sitting there, and Mark Williams, the assistant coach now with Richmond, of course, the premiership coach for Port Adelaide in 2004.
We were talking about it.
20-minute chat.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I won't go into details what we're saying, but, no, look, it's interesting, Bazza, and... yeah, let's talk about football.
16th year of broadcasting on the National Indigenous Radio Service this year, Andrew Underwood. Of course, tonight we go through AFLNTv and, of course, AFL.com. But what about some of our wonderful stations that are taking us tonight right across Australia?
Also streaming live on the Richmond website, so we're on YouTube right across the country. And we are going the length and breadth of the country. Now, we can't cover, acknowledge everybody, but I wanted to sort of shout out to a few of our networks and our stations, the TIBA network in the NT, right out through the Tiwis. So say shout out to all our friends there, 101 Fresh FM, all our friends in Bendigo.
Tony Rogers, Travis, will be listening tonight.
Yeah, Bummer Bipper Media in Cairns, great people up there. 3KND in Melbourne.
Melbourne's got us.
Yes, 3KND. Umiwara Media in Port Augusta, that's Dean Hodgson's mob out there. 4K1G in Townsville. Up in the far North Queensland. The Paul Media Network, Gilly and Yuendamu.
Unbelievable.
A few hundred Ks from here.
That's brilliant.
Galari Media in Broome, Halls Creek, PRK 98.1.
Halls Creek.
Yeah, and also Sport FM 91.3 in Perth. So big shout out to all our friends right across the country. Have your say. You can follow us on Twitter. You can follow us on Facebook. You can send us an SMS. Actually, we've got the footy phone all fired up, 0458 723 563. Or
it's
all happening. Or just send it through straight to us here.
Send a cheerio?
You send it. You can do whatever you like. It's your stadium. It's your ground.
It's his grandstand.
It's your grandstand.
Stop it. I want to send a cheerio to my other relations because you know I've got biggest mob. I want to say hello to all my Halls Creek people, all the Gidget people. Yep. If you can hear me out there, I love you and I hope everyone's safe and well.
Send us an SMS 0407 723 563. Just a bit of a different number. That's my phone. Send it through to that. Have your say. What do you reckon about the All Stars? They're going to give the Tigers an absolute belting.
Well,
I would reckon.
Players so far. Leroy Jetta's been good. Aaron Davey in the middle. Courtney Dempsey had a bit of it. Tony Armstrong, Graham Johncock's got a couple of goals. Sherrod Wellingham, Gilly, and Liam Jones got 2 goals in the first quarter.
Fellas, I forgot to mention, when I went down, the winds changed direction.
Ooh, hello.
Chrissy, and I spoke to Chris, I said, what's going on? He said, it's changed. The wind's actually blowing towards us in the box.
Bounce down in the centre of the ground. We're underway in the second half. It's 8-1-49 the All-Stars. The Tigers 2-1-13 Richmond are finding it tough here tonight at Traeger Park in Alice Springs. And again, the All-Stars work it out of the centre of the ground. Scrubby kick from Jed Anderson through the middle, but repelling this time for the Tigers is young McIntosh, but his kick is a cough up and it goes straight to Alwyn Davey for the All-Stars. The bomber kicks towards Wellingham and he kicks inside forward 50 to the right forward pocket where Thomas comes out and marks on his chest about 5 metres inside the boundary line, the left footer. He's on the right side for that left foot, Gilly, an opportunity for another goal of the All-Stars.
Yeah, Baz, and they've actually moved him more into the forward line, into the forward 50, whereas in the first half he was playing more on the wing. So good move there by Coach O'Loughlin.
Had a very good first half too, Gilly, Lindsay Thomas.
He did.
No, he's in the mix too, maybe.
Just saying.
Yeah, well, boys.
Very good first half. So he settles over the footy. He's about 48 metres out when he drops it onto the left boot. 8 metres inside the boundary line. It comes back. He's hooked it. It's a point. The All-Stars 8-2-50. Now, Richmond 2 goals, 1-13. 1 minute into the third quarter of the game. Gilbert McAdam's here tonight. And this man, Andrew Underwood, the former Bomber and Tiger.
Yeah, the ball comes back in. Tigers bring it to the broadcast side of the ground. Still in the back pocket. Not a lot of options for them. So you'd imagine just down the line is the way they're going to go. The man they're looking is Vlastuin, but out the back of the pack, Wellingham takes it. He runs and he spears the ball. Whoa. Stephen May was the target. He had it at ground level, then he lost it. His second effort was good. Tigers with number. Conker had it. Ball spills. Is that Jnr Boy? The ball from the GWS, Jared Ugle. And I've got to say, Kevin Sheedy has got a bit of a rap on this young boy. He got on Twitter earlier today, did Sheeds, and he gave him a bit of a pump up. The crumb was brilliant. The shot was great, and he kicked a major. All-Stars have their ninth.
Yeah, no, he's got a bit of pace about him, and if Sheed says that, well, I'm going to believe what you said, Andy, because he's the best judge of a footballer, and I'm sure Sheeds will bring the best out of him, no doubt about that.
Well, anybody that's drafted by the Bombers must be able to play, Gilly.
Oh, here we go. So the ball back in the centre of the ground. The All-Stars really pouring it on now. Bounce in the middle. Early stages, second half. Ryder up in the ruck against Stephenson. Ball hits the deck. Plays from both sides. Kick smothered. Bounces back into the arms of Shane Edwards, but it's pushed out towards Sean Edwards for the All-Stars, who kicks inside forward 50. Running onto it was Eddie Betts. Spins around 25 out. Little hand pass to Thomas. Oh, look, he's going Lindsay's put another one through. Playing some pretty good footy out there, Lindsay Thomas, and he kicks the All-Stars 10th goal there, 10-2-62. Richmond 2-1-13, 3 minutes into the third term. I'm just saying, Gilly.
Well, the knock on him at North Melbourne, Gilly, is that his set shots for goal aren't great because you know what? He thinks too much.
Yeah,
when it's just instinctive like that, absolutely brilliant.
Nah, look, great goal by Lindsay, but I'll tell you what, the way they've come out, they've just continued on from the first half, and gee, Richmond, they're in a lot of trouble at the moment, but young Jed Anderson, I've been watching him, they've got him on the ball. This kid's only 17, 18-year-old kid, and he's getting a bit of ball just quietly.
So down she comes. Ball in dispute. Comes towards Martin. He's about the only one for the Tigers that's having a crack. He kicks a spiral in towards the forward 50. Edwards, the former Kangaroo, gathers. Gets rid of one around the corner. This will be a brilliant goal if he kicks it. Oh, the breeze just caught it and across the face, and it's banged into the point post. We'll have a boundary throw in. That's at the gap end, the southern end here at Traeger Park. And Gilly McAdam did a lot of damage to this oval. And the All-Stars are doing likewise.
Boundary throw in. Good to see Chris Newman on the ground for the Tigers, the former captain. He's relinquished that this year. Players from both sides dive on top of the loose ball. The umpire will... No, he's plucked one. Bottom of the pack. It'll go to the All-Stars in the back pocket. Paddy Ryder gets the free kick. Hand pass, in fact, onto Elwyn Davey. Kicks back to Anderson. Onto the left boot. Kicks it to defensive 50, where the mark's been taken by Josh Simpson. Nice little hands over the top, and they're on the run again, the All-Stars. Kick inside forward. In fact, just outside forward 50 from Hill has been marked by Hampton.
Pass!
He drills it inside to John Cock, 40 metres from goal. In fact, it was Amos Frank with the first possession, but John Cock's got it about 40 out directly in front. And another opportunity for the All-Stars.
I'll tell you what, Bazanandis, the crowd is starting to come alive because the last couple of goals, they're starting to scream. That's good. That's what we want. Bit of atmosphere.
So Graham Johncock has kicked 2 goals tonight, both in the second term. The Adelaide Crow, 225 at the highest level. He's kicked 118 goals in his career. He's hooked this up and he's kicked snuck it in for a point only. 10-3-63, the All-Stars. Richmond are 2 goals, 1-13.
He's getting a lot of the ball, Graham Johncock. He could be a chance for the Polly Farmer medal.
He's been marked down as one of the better players in the first half.
So Morris brings the ball back in. Martin now gathers. He goes with a long ball towards White at half-back on the outer side. No movement at all, Gilly. That's the problem for the Tigers. There's no run.
They're not prepared to run. And I know they've got a lot of inexperienced guys in the side, but there's an opportunity for them Undies to make a statement here.
Yeah,
right?
Chris Knights has got it. He's run down behind by Amos Frank. Beautiful tackle and rewarded. Oh, the nightmare continues for the Tigers.
He's playing a really good game, Amos Frank.
Tell you what, there's not much of him, but he's lightning quick. Skills aren't bad. He's kicked towards Johncock, was chopped off. Martin turns on a dime on the left. Kicks a spiral towards centre wing at the back of the pack. Numbers with the All-Stars. Lovett Murray to Jetta. The two teammates combine. Back to Bennell. Gets on the left. He just leans and just measures the kick towards half-forward left. And chopping off and taking a very nice mark was Camden McIntosh.
So McIntosh goes short. Oh, he's looking for Shane Edwards, but it's been cut off.
Skill level.
Taken by Newman for the All-Stars, but his kick was smothered by Edwards. John Cock back there, hand pass back to Newman. So try and work it out of the defensive half of the ground. Little short kick inboard. The target on that occasion was Jetta. Bounced past him, and the Tigers an opportunity through White. Little hand pass off towards Chris Newman. Newman runs into trouble through Bennell. Claims the footy. Tackled. Hand passed over his head. Jetta in there again at the bottom of the pack for the All-Stars. Pushes it out to Leroy Jetta. In goes Neville Jetta again, the Demon. Little hand pass off to Hartman. Hand passed out of the pack wide. Picked up by Conker at half-back for the Tigers. He had a busy first quarter. Handballs back to Asprey. Asprey kicked just outside defensive 50. And a good mark taken by Daru.
So he goes short. And again, not a lot of movement, but Greg takes it just off the turf.
They always seem to fall down, Andy, as soon as they get through the centre square. No options.
Yeah, you've got to say they have got a lot of their superstars out, and they're playing 9 debutants. But that being said, in the All-Stars lineup, there's 8 debutants. So the effort is just up a notch from the All-Stars. Coach Hardwick would be absolutely spewing at the minute. The ball to Chris Knights at centre wing, the former Crow. Had an indifferent last couple of seasons at Adelaide, so he's had his career reignited possibly over in Tigerland. Big long kick towards left half forward. It's going to be a mark paid on the second attempt. And it's Ellis Yeoman, isn't it, taking a mark at half back?
He's from a place called Cyril. Andy, do you know Cyril in South Australia?
Certainly do. So as a turnover comes to Tigers, running into the open goal is McGuan. So good work undone. Second goal for McGuan, and, well, you'd have to think too little too late perhaps. But just a glimmer of hope, perhaps, Gilly. The Tigers go to 3-1-19, trailing the All-Stars 10-3-63. You've got to live in hope, boys.
Yeah, no, look,
it's a very, 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 very light glimmer. A very small glimmer.
I know it's only early in the season, but, you know, it's a long way to go. But, nah, look, the passion, that's the thing that I can see with the All-Stars. I don't see any passion with Richmond. And you know what? It's disappointing to see. I mean, I know it's a pre-season game, but just have a go, boys. They don't seem to be having a go. I reckon Dustin Martin's the only bloke that's having a go for him at the moment.
Yeah, he's been very good. Dusty Martin tonight. McGuan's in the ruck for Richmond. Beaten though. Tap down to Davey. That's Aaron Davey for the All-Stars. Umpire's whistle goes. Free kick will go to Richmond. Their tackle was rewarded. And lost one in his first year for the Tigers. Young man from the Northern Under-18s. Kick towards half forward. Players from both sides taking a loose footy at ground level. Chris Newman on top, and the umpire calls for a bounce. Ugle gets up from the bottom.
I suppose in fairness to Richmond, this is probably an away game for them as well. But that still shouldn't matter.
Yeah, I don't reckon they play too many games here, Gilly.
No, but I mean, you know, All-Stars have got the support of all the Indigenous people.
Oh, without question.
Here. That's where I'm coming from.
Right, I'm with you.
Great tackle, though, by Morris.
Sean Edwards.
So Sean Edwards nicely.
And Knights runs away with it for the Tigers. The former Adelaide Crow. In fact, it's going to come back. The umpire's not going to let him run away. It's going to be a free kick back to Stevie Morris.
I called it.
Well done, Gilly. So Morris on the broadcast wing. The Tigers just 3 goals thus far for the night. 10 minutes into the third quarter. He's in no hurry. Hugs the boundary line with a 45-metre drop punt. Floats about 10 metres in. And a ripping mark taken down there by Liam Jones, who's had a pretty good third quarter after kicking 2 goals in the first for the All-Stars. So the Bulldog kicks back towards the wing. Off hands, a chance for Aaron Davey. Look at him. Gives the don't argue. Runs away with a footy after tucking it under his arm.
Great
brilliant kick the bets 30 metres on. Hand pass to John Cock. 40 out. Goal of the night. That's a beauty.
Oh, brilliant.
John Cock kicks his third goal. And a ripping piece of football from the Indigenous All-Stars. And they go to 11-3-69. Richmond 3-1-19. 11 minutes, Gilly, into the third term.
Yeah, look, great play by the All-Stars. And Aaron Davey, he set that up on the wing. He got the ball, a few handballs, and that was a beautiful kick. And, the All-Stars, great answer. Just when we thought Richmond might kick a couple.
Bit of road carry on that occasion down there, Chris Yarra. Bit of excitement from the bench. We haven't got Chris at the moment, but he was up and about. He jumped off the bench and stuck his fist in the air. He's pretty happy with that goal.
Yeah, well, he's actually down in the change room. He's getting changed. He wants to have a bit of a trundle. So Martin had it, then lost it. It's going to be a free kick.
Bradson Lundy's Lewis Jetta. He's put a bit of muscle on over the summer.
Yes, he's looks to have a good season ahead of him. Josh Simpson bangs the All-Stars into attack. Floating across the front was tucked for the Tigers. Gets a lot of the footy, hard as they come. Goes to Stephen Morris. They call him Sock, son of Kevin.
Oh.
So in the 1-2, the give and go. Morris now gets it in the back pocket on the outer side. That kick wasn't great. In fact, it was a pig dog mongrel. Out of bounds on the full. In fact, it almost went in about row 4. And the All-Stars will bring it back inboard.
That's been the story of their night all tonight, Undies.
Brought it back in towards Ugle. Young Amos Frank's got it now. Not overly young, 24 years of age. He just spears it back whence it came. Missed his target. Paddy Ryder got on the first bounce. He was a good pickup, as you heard Gilly say, for a big man. He's about 6'5". The ball at centre wing. Knights and Ellis Yeoman. Aaron Edwards in there. Inboard to Nahas. Can give it to Magwan. He does. Got a nice little build-up. Nothing for him to kick to, so he comes back inboard. White's run down.
Great tackle.
Terrific tackle by Foggy Davey. It's a turnover. All-Stars are away.
And they'll bring it out towards the broadcast wing. 69 plays 19, well in control. Good work there from the young man in Anderson. Little hand pass over the top, Thomas. Kick towards half forward, okay to Bennell. Little hand pass back to Anderson. Flying shot at goal across the face from Jed Anderson. Has gone through for a behind. 11-4-70, All-Stars, Richmond 3-1-9.
I've heard from good reports that this kid's going to be the next superstar from Northern Territory. And the way I've seen him play tonight, he's exceptional.
So is that young Anderson?
Young Jed Anderson, the brother of Joe Anderson that played at Carlton.
Yeah, he's from the NT Thunder, Gilly, on the Hawthorn list. So a long kick. Ball spills, front and square. Tigers with numbers. They share the footy around. Jackson's got it, almost run down from behind. He gets his kick away. The All-Stars playing in front as they've done all night. Courtney Dempsey takes the rebound kick, takes a mark. At centre wing, he just measures it. Jetta at the back of the backer spills. Edwards, front and square, nicely done. Can get it to Jetta. He's a live wire. Tries to draw a player. Comes to Hill. Spearing ball. John Cook again. Hasn't he been busy? Terrific summer. The kick. Oh, went straight through the arms of Bennell. Tight on the boundary line. Chopped off. Anderson, the man. And Gilly, let's have a look at his setup here. 45 from goal, 45-degree angle.
And I'm going to say something. Before he got that ball, there was a contest inside that square. He put his body on the line. This kid's got skill, but he's got a bit of guts just quietly. I'm very impressed with him.
So Jed Anderson, 19 years of age. NT Thunder on the Hawthorn list. Trots in to the paint of 50. Left foot, not bad off the boot. Back on the breeze, it's a beauty.
Goal. Great goal.
First goal in AFL footy. Congratulations, young man. The 12 for the All-Stars. 12-4-76. Richmond 3-1-19. Gilly, it's officially a belting.
It is, and look, I'm surprised. I thought Richmond were going to have a crack tonight, but you know what? Nothing. They've showed nothing. Absolute nothing tonight.
Let's go down to the boundary line to Chris Yarran, who's with us tonight. Chris, the All-Stars power on. We still have Chris down there. We'll go back towards the centre of the ground where we're going to restart play. 12-4-76. The All-Stars. Richmond are 3 goals, 1-19. 15 and a half minutes now into the third term. The Tigers, what will their 2013 be? Plenty of their senior players out tonight. Ryder taps down to ground level. The two Bombers combine as Leroy Jetta bounces and runs away from the middle. Drills inside forward 50. Asprey at the back of the pack off hands for the Tigers. Kicks it back out towards the true wing position. Outer side. Bennell runs onto it for the All-Stars. Nahas tackles him after he picked it up. Slings him over the line. Boundary throw in true wing position. Outer side of the ground.
Yeah, look, Baz, I know I've said it a couple of times, but look, Richmond just need to show a bit of spirit just for themselves.
Free kick to the Tigers. Nahas brings it into tuck. Half back on the outer side. Beautiful night for footy. And the All Stars are making the most of it. Ball spills at the back of the pack. Again, it's been a familiar theme. The All Stars with numbers. They run in waves, they run in numbers. Harbrow gets it inboard. Armstrong got a player in support. Kirtley Hampton, that's Gilly's cousin. He's put on some weight too, Gilly, over the summer. Looks in terrific condition.
Nephew.
So through traffic was Dempsey. Back towards Armstrong. They share the footy around. It's getting to be like circle work. So Hampton now, a long searching ball into the forward 50. Free kick shortly the Tigers.
Big Stephenson takes it. Hand passes behind him. Richmond inside their defensive 50 with a short kick to Grigg. Another short one to Nahas, just outside. Out of sight of the ground, the running Ellis. Runs on and takes the mark. So the Tigers get a hit out tonight. But certainly in conditions up here, they certainly wouldn't be used to. They're struggling against the Indigenous All Stars. Short kick out to the outer side wing. Chris Newman takes the mark. 214 games at the highest level. The captain for the Tigers he was up until this year. The defender, he's a ripper.
Oh, risky handball.
Forward 50. McGuan didn't mark. Now the footy's at ground level. Jackson, little tap behind him. Shane Edwards runs onto the ball. Hand pass into no man's land, but Nahas is onto it. Picks it up. Handballs inboard. Trying to work his way through traffic. Alice.
Great
tackled
pressure
on the second occasion. Couldn't get there. Oh, Amos Frank gets caught high or without the footy, whatever you want. He'll get a free kick at half-back, surely. Does he know he's got it?
Yeah.
In fact, the 50-metre penalty as well.
Yeah.
So that'll bring him up towards the wing, but time beats him. At the 17.5-minute mark, 7.5-minute quarters. Three-quarter time here at Traeger Park. 12-4-76 the All-Stars. Richmond 3-1-19, Gilly.
Baz, I was just watching Amos Frank give the ball just then back to the umpire. He's just giving him a lace out, left foot, drop punt, 45 metre, straight on the chest, and he's a right footer. Unbelievable.
Well, let's go down to the boundary line where Chris Yaron is down there in amongst all the action, Chris, and the All-Stars getting into the huddle at the moment, but a ripping third term again.
Yeah, all Stars that quarter again, fellas. All their class is just way too much for Richmond to handle at this stage, and Richmond looks like to me that they didn't come to play, and I'm pretty sure their coach will be pretty disappointed with their efforts. But all credit must go to the All-Star boys. They've been fantastic throughout these three quarters. So. Good work to them.
A lot of players rotated on and off the ground for both sides tonight, obviously, but Amos Frank, when he gets near it, there's a bit of excitement, isn't there?
Yeah, it is. Amos Frank, he's such a class act, and he'll be terrific for Auckland. But I've been really impressed with young Jed Anderson this afternoon. He's cracking in. He's laid some big tackles and also finishing off with a few goals. So he's certainly one that caught my eye in this game. So I think he's going to be a star the next few years.
You're out of the huddle at the moment. I was just watching Aaron Davey just going as all the players came in. He made sure he spoke to everyone. He slapped hands. He made sure their minds are on the job. It's the intensity from the All-Stars again, and we've seen this over many, many years. Fantastic tonight.
Yeah, he's that's why he's such a class act, Flash. He's such a leader around this group, and he's led by example the whole game. And I wouldn't be surprised if he takes out the Polly Farmer medal. He's been fantastic, and you can hear him now. It's just all about enthusiasm, just keeping your mind on the task. And he's such a good leader for these young fellas coming through. So everyone should look up to him.
Good on you, Chris Yaron, the champion blue down there tonight for the NIRS broadcast, along with AFLNTv, and of course AFL.com tonight, and all our affiliate stations right across Australia. But Gilly, a big lead to the All-Stars. Looks like it's going to be another big win to the All-Stars, although at some stage during that third quarter, our man Andrew Underwood felt the Tigers were on their way back. But
I was trying to find something, boys. Just something.
Former Tiger himself, but Gilly, it's all been all about the All-Stars.
Yeah, no, look, it has been, and look, I know it's a long way to go for the season, and these All-Stars guys, I know for a fact, because I've been a part of a game, I know when we come into this game, I know when I was playing, this game for me, that was my state of origin. I was representing my people and my community. That's the way that I looked at that game. It meant more to me just as much as playing for South Australia or the Allies. And I'll tell you what, that's what it means to those young kids out there, Baz and Undies. I don't think this game means as much to Richmond. It doesn't. Otherwise,
Australia, there's no freshness like Coles freshness. I know because I visit the farms. I know just how committed Coles is to Australian farmers and providing the freshest locally grown fruit and veg. Look at all this. And I know how fast we get our fresh produce from the farm to you. Perfect and right. And at Coles, 96% of our fresh fruit and veg is Australian grown. That's why it tastes so fresh. And that's why...
There's no freshness like Coles.
The Northern Territory is full of the best stories.
Where I got up close and personal with an Aussie icon.
Which you just have to do. Flying over those waterfalls is just irresistible.
So we jumped straight in and
relaxed in the cool waters with
a few friends on a little charter heading to
a tropical sunset like no other.
The best short break story is available now at flightcentre.com.au or call 131 600 and book now.
Bringing that grease because I get sick of looking at his hair covered in grease all the time. But anyway, but we've got a big scoop. Chrissy Johnson, he's not coaching in 2013, so he's going to be on the panel every week. And you know what we've got? We've got the king on board, the greatest footballer, they reckon, even better than Lee Matthews, Wayne the King Carey. He's going to be on the panel full time, fellas. What an exciting time that's going to be.
Yeah. Well, looking forward to it, Gilly. Back there was a bit of a question about over Margaret, but it's good.
Yes.
It's good to see from everybody's perspective that Margaret's back, and you know, Margaret, great product, has been there for a lot of years, and it's got a bit of a cult following, you boys, haven't you?
It has, and it's going to be the same format. I'll be the co-host. Grant Hanson, Grant will be the host. We've got the two girls, Layla and Shelley, and we've also got our little mate Crooker.
And man, the audience killer.
It's not going to be at the studios. It's probably be in a smaller environment, but that won't matter.
Let's go to the end of the round. We've got Chris Jnr down there, who's looked after for the... And of course, he's done a very, very good job. But Chris, what's the message at three-quarter time? They've got to go in hard, Barry. They've got to go in hard. It's a big final quarter coming up, and they've just been asked to push. Thanks very much for that, Chris. Down there on the boundary line.
You are a clown, Bess.
Thank you very much. Andrew Underwood here, and Gilbert McAdam, as you heard. 12-4-76 is the All Stars score. And Richmond are 3 goals, 1-19 at three-quarter time. 3 goals to Graham Johncock, 2 to Liam Jones, 2 goals to Eddie Betts, 2 goals to Luke McGuan for the Tigers. He's got 2 of their 3. And the single goal scorer, the big ruckman, who came over from Geelong, 30 years of age. He's a great story, actually, Oren Stephenson. He's a wonderful story. Gets an opportunity late in his football career. He played 8 games for the Cats last year, kicked a snagger roll, 1 goal. And tonight he's got 1 goal for the Tigers as well. But it's all been about the All-Stars. They've dominated from the word go, and you'd expect they'll go on with the business in this final quarter, Gilbert McAdam.
Yeah, well, you'd imagine so. But I think, you know, just for the sake of the Richmond young kids, I know Andy said they got 8 or 9 young kids first gamers. I reckon Choco Williams would have been saying to those kids, you want to make a bit of a statement tonight, boys? Finish off in the last quarter. Don't worry about the previous 3 quarters because they can't change that, Andy. They just got to try and finish off in the last quarter and get a bit of respect back.
It's going to be tough to pick the 3-2-1 for the Polly Farmer medal, boys.
It's going to be very hard, fellas. I'm pretty sure it's going to come from the All-Stars, the way it's going.
I don't think there's any question about that.
So they come on the ground, they back onto the centre of the ground. The All-Stars have just broken up, and the Tigers are out there as well. We're going to hold on out here at Traeger Park in Alice Springs. Both sides have moved into position. The All-Stars will go to the right of our broadcast position in this final term, the southern end of the ground here at Traeger Park, and the Tigers to the left. And Dusty Martin's out there to start in the middle again. He's been pretty good tonight for Richmond. Good signs from him. Very, very early stages in the season. Andrew Underwood to take up the call as we start the final term. 76 plays 19, the All-Stars comfortable leaders.
Thanks, Baz. Stephenson and Ryder. This time Stephenson gets hand on the footy. Second effort was good. Ryder's got him. Ball spills to Edwards for the Tigers. On hands and knees was Curtly Hampton. Oh, terrific effort. He gets it towards centre wing to Ugle, and he was dumped. Unceremoniously, umpire says, free kick, play on advantage. So Hampton, he's had a big pre-season, Gilly, put on a few pounds.
Yeah, he's got to work on his kicking, though.
Yeah, that kick wasn't great. That's Murray Newman for the All-Stars. Tight on the boundary line, ball out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. 75 around from the All-Stars goal.
Tell you who has been good tonight. Harley Bennell has worked very hard tonight for the All Stars. He was in amongst that again. Boundary throw in.
Doing a lot of ball carrying, hasn't he?
Paddy Ryder in the ruck, taps it down towards ground level. But Shane Edwards first there for the Tigers. Runs away from the pack. Kick towards half forward. Trying to come out and mark was young McDonough. Couldn't do so. Ball hits the deck. An opportunity for the All Stars to carry it away. Hand pass from Goods. It ends up with Ugle, who runs through the centre of the ground. Drills it about 30 metres forward on towards the leader. He went for the mark. Didn't take it in Stephen May, but got back up. Short little kick towards Murray Newman was good, and he took the mark. Another one to the left forward pocket. An opportunity here for Motlop, who's taken the mark. About 35 out from goal. About 30 metres out from goal on a 45-degree angle. He has had a reasonably quiet night tonight. Started well in the first quarter, and then but a lot of rotations off and on the ground. Yeah, that's true. Yep. So Motlop will go for the first goal of the final term. 1.5 minutes into it, he fires. It's just across the face and through for one behind. The All Stars 12-5-77. Richmond 3-1-19. 1.5 minutes into the final term. And you're listening to NIRS Football through AFLNT and AFL.com tonight with Andrew Underwood and Gilbert McAdam.
So ball in the back half, the Tigers have it. Grigg just chips it short to a teammate in Martin. He's had plenty of the footy. Goes short to Conker, had it, then lost it. At ground level, nice effort though. They do work hard, those experienced Tiger players. A long ball towards half forward. Nahas showed a bit of courage, but the ball spills. Comes towards the All Stars on the outside of the boot. Working well, there was Edwards for the Tigers, shrugged off his opponent, and then he gets it off the instep. So the Tigers boys are getting tired. The skills are starting to fall right away. Edwards now just releases Nahas right half forward, gets him board back to Edwards. There's a little bit of time and he just chips it. And he found a teammate in young Mac McDonough, or McDonough. It's from West Torrens. You know where that is, West Torrens?
Where's that?
South Australia.
Theberton, just tell him Theberton.
Yes. Played for the Eagles in SA. Only a young boy. So only 19 years of age, directly in front. Takes 3 steps. Umpire doesn't move a muscle. Good. So he's got his first goal in senior footy. The Tigers have got their 4th. They go to 4-1-25, trailing the All Stars 12-5-77. 3 gone in the final term. Thanks to Jnr legend. Here's Gilly McAdam.
Yeah, that was probably the most fluent play that into their forward 50 that I've seen all night, and that was a good kick. It's no coincidence it was an Indigenous guy that passed it to him and hit him on the chest in Edwards. But nah, look, good goal, and look, that'll do that young kid a lot of confidence.
The ball delivered back towards the centre of the ground, and we'll go again. The Tigers get one back, but it's all been about the All Stars tonight. They've been fantastic. They came to play. They've played with a lot of passion, and they've really put on a wonderful performance here at Traeger Park in Alice Springs. Ryder tapped down in the ruck. Push behind the pack though to Nahas, and he runs away from the middle for the Tigers. Got a bit of toe, and he goes long and high inside forward 50. Big fist on the footy. Punts towards the side of the pack. Opportunity for Lovett Murray. Short kick to Ugle has been good tonight as well. And Ugle takes the mark on defensive 50. Spent plenty of time on the ground. So Ugle onto the left boot. Kicks it high towards the wing. Big leap from behind by Motlop. Couldn't take the mark. And off hands it goes out of bounds. Just forward of the wing. Broadcast side of the ground for the All Stars. 12-5-77 they are. Richmond 4-1-25. 4.5 final term.
So side still making the changes.
Yeah, plenty of rotations. Paddy Ryder's been busy. Taps it back to the check side. Jetta been busy as well. Stevenson around the corner. It's a bouncing ball. Which way will it go? Nicely done by McGuan. Gathers it towards Martin through traffic. Just missed his target. Jetta. That's the Lewis variety. So chipping it short. The All Stars have it, and they got plenty to choose from. A spearing ball, but chopped off somehow by Daru from the Tigers. The skill wasn't great though. Bennell gathers it. They've got him right adjacent to the interchange gates and right in front of the NIRS commentary team. So great to have your company regularly listening right across Australia. Friday night footy. It's the All Stars by 42 points.
Footy comes spinning back into play.
52, Barry, sorry.
Tap down towards Bennell. My man, he's been good. His handball low cut off by Shane Edwards. Hand pass off to Chris Newman. Through the centre of the ground for the Tigers. Kicked the half forward. Couldn't mark there was Alice Yeoman. Fell to the back of the pack. An opportunity for Courtney Dempsey to clean up. Chain of hand passes. Ends up with Lovett Murray. Back towards Courtney Dempsey. His Bomber teammate at half back. Hasn't been a great week for the Bombers, but their Bombers represented tonight have been fantastic. Kick into the centre of the ground to Harley Bennell again. And he delivers nicely to Alwyn Davey. Another Bomber. And then another Bomber as he kicks to Leroy Jetta. Jetta back towards the running Aaron Davey now. Hand pass to Alwyn Davey. Alwyn Davey handball to the forward pocket to John Cock. Didn't go for goal. He was only 20 out. Kicked it across the face. Tigers all over it. Was a high ball. Punched to ground level. Leroy Jetta was there. Hand pass back to Alwyn Davey. A hand pass to Bennell. Bennell across the bodies. Hit the post. Nice little build up. And ended up with my man Gilly, 12-6-78, the All-Stars, Richmond 4-1, 25, 6.5 final term.
That's the thing about him is he carries the ball, and he's obviously learnt that from the great man, G. Ablett.
So the Tigers have the footy. It's a bit of Thursday night circle work, really, but it's Friday night. The All-Stars have got control of this game well and truly, and they're playing a terrific brand of footy. Vlaston. So a crowd of 8,350. Very good crowd.
That's a great crowd.
And Gilly said I
said 7.5.
He said anticipated 8.5. He's a pretty good judge. So Darrell at half back for the Tigers. Edwards gets it from him, comes back inboard. And his teammate in Vlastuin gives it to Greg Bohan. A long ball in towards full forward. Edwards flies high. First bite, second bite. Couldn't gather it. Second effort was terrific. The All-Stars have numbers, and they clear the ball. Again, Ugle has it, and they're just lining up pass to get a possession.
Motlop's got it, kicks in towards the centre of the ground. Short kick to Josh Simpson. They're away again. Little hand pass over the top to Alwyn Davey from 50. Didn't go for goal, just popped it up for Bennell. And he runs into the open goal and puts it through. Harley Bennell from the Gold Coast Suns. 36 games next to his name at the moment. Pops it through. Gets his first of the night, and another one.
Yeah.
13-6-84, Gilly, the All-Stars. Richmond 4-1-25, 7.5 final term.
Oh, look, that was very unselfish by Foggy Davey. He could have had a shot, Alwyn Davey, then, but no, being the player he is, he passed it off to Bennell, and I'll tell you what, Bennell's got a lot of ball out in the middle. He can also get it inside the forward 50. He's had a good night tonight, Harley Bennell.
Well, it's going to be very tough to try to find a 3-2-1 for the Polly Farmer medal. Gilly McAdam will be presenting the medal after the game. So Jones now in the ruck. Thomas has got it towards Hampton. Share the football around. Jetta, that's the Lewis variety, gets it off the outside of the boot. Comes the broadcast wing. Foggy Davey has had a huge last term. Will it get him the votes? Time will tell. And that off the side of the boot. A turnover. Newman for the Tigers. He's got players of plenty to run from. One's tuck, no one home. So he just goes long. That's more hitting hope than anything else. Off the side of the boot. Bouncing ball. Off the ground. Edwards goes. That's Aaron Edwards for the Tigers. And his first goal. Fifth for the Tigers. They got a 5-1-31. Trailing the All-Stars 13-6-84.
Gee, I'll tell you what, the great Shane Warne would have been happy with that robber, because that's what it was. It just went the opposite direction, and well done to Edwards. He obviously read it well, and he kicked the goal. Well done to Edwards. That's his first for the night.
So back in the centre of the ground, and Edwards gets one through at his new club. He's 82 games himself, 124 goals with North Melbourne. Now with a Tiger for 2013. Bounce in the middle. Tap down the ground level. Players at ball bounces through hands. Martin was in there. Little hand pass comes to Shane Edwards of Richmond. They've been good in the final term. Hand pass over the top to Chris Knights. Another one to Grigg. Back towards Martin. Martin tackled. Rode into the deck. Pushed it out to Grigg. His kick was smothered though. Well done by Kirtley Hampton. Went back onto it. Pushed it back behind him. Martin goes again. Have to say he's been pretty good for the Tigers. He's worked hard all night. But his hand pass has gone astray. Went to Lindsay Thomas. At half back for the All-Stars. Short kick over the top to Motlop. Another one to Newman for the All-Stars. Runs forward to the middle, looking for a hand pass. Elects to kick in the end. John Cox led wide. Marks it 60 metres from goal. He's got Leroy Jetta streaming inside. He also had Davey. He went for Davey, but it was cut off by Alice of the Tigers, standing at half back, and took a comfortable mark.
So Chris Newman on the broadcast side of the ring for the Tigers. Gets on that familiar left foot. Gives it to White. White runs to 50. Launches towards goal. And misses to the near side. So nothing going right for the Tigers. They'll trail by 53 points. 10.5 gone in the final turn. That scoreline, 13-6, 84 the All Stars. The Tigers 5-2, 32.
We've got you down there, Chris Yarran.
Yeah, mate, I'm here.
How's it feeling on the bench now?
Yeah, everyone's enjoying himself down here. I just got Eddie Betts with me. He's not playing for the rest of the game.
Yep.
Just playing 3 quarters. So I'll just get a quick chat with Eddie.
Yep.
Eddie, how are you seeing the game so far, bud?
Hey?
How are you seeing the game so far?
I was watching the game. Yeah, it's been all right. This last quarter's been a little bit railway traffic, but hopefully the boys will get back on the defence and, you know, we won't give up some more goals.
Who's been your standout performer throughout the day, you reckon?
I'll say Aaron Davey.
There we have it, boys. Aaron Davey in line for Eddie Betts' Polyfoam medal.
All right, so the ball now on the wing.
Great kick, Jared.
Inside forward 50 has been marked.
Great chase, Wolfie, great chase.
Curtly Hampton, he played on quickly. He spotted up big Paddy Wright.
Great chase, Uncle.
Goal, little hand pass to Newman. And Murray Newman fires and puts it through to the All Stars. 20 metres out directly in front. And the goal goes on the board. 14 goals, 690 now the All Stars. They've done it beautifully. 5-2, 32 Richmond. We're 11.5 minutes into the final term. They're really running away with it now. Comfortable lead of 58 points.
10 individual goal scorers for the All Stars, Baz. So they certainly have, they've shared the love.
I think it's all those fleet-footed players that they have out there. They haven't got real key position players, and I suppose they all got a chip in, Undies?
So Ryder and Stephenson will contest this centre bounce. 90-32. It's been a belting. It's been a very slick performance from the All Stars. Centre clearance out towards centre wing. Froggy Davey has it. Exhibit to Aaron Davey. He comes back on the left. He got plenty of the football. And Armstrong now at halfback goes laterally towards Ellis Yeoman. Till he's put on a bit of beef over the summer as well. Goes to Courtney Dempsey on the outer side. Plenty to choose from. Almost a raffle. Has a bounce. Tries to draw a player. He goes to Motlop. Oh, the ball was a bit hot for him. He's turned the ball over. Ball in dispute now. Conker for the Tigers. Comes back inboard. And Tuck's got it at halfback.
So Tuck goes short over the top and he finds Chris Knights. Knights runs with a footy for the Tigers, the former Crow. He kicks short to McGuan. Takes a little bit of while to get used to, Gilly. McGuan's got it 70 out from goal. Plenty of player movement these days, isn't there? He goes long towards full forward. Edwards underneath. Oh, big from Edwards. Didn't mark. Spilled it down to Shane Edwards. Crossed the body for the Tigers. He's kicked the point. In the deep left forward pocket, about 25 metres out. 5-4-34 Richmond. 14-6-90 are the All Stars. 13.5 minutes into the final term.
So Armstrong, 30 from his own goal. Tries to sell a little bit of candy. Comes to the broadcast side of the ground.
Help him.
The target is Wellingham. Hasn't had the biggest game I thought he would have. I thought in a game like this, Gilly, he would have just dominated.
Yeah, I thought the way I've seen him and... Yeah, no, he probably... It's great that he's had the opportunity. Obviously, when he's at Collingwood, he didn't get it. So good luck to him.
He's put on some beef, put on some pounds, and put on some muscle.
I'm right.
And he's got it front and square. So he had it, then lost it. Tigers through traffic. Nahas, he's run down behind, but shrugs a tackle. Gives it to a teammate in young Vlastuin. And a long ball towards the full forward line. And Stephenson, too big, too tall. And he takes a mark, 10 from home.
I reckon he's going to be a good pickup for the Richmond Footy Club because he's that type of player where he can go into forward line undies as well as be a tap-on ruckman.
Yeah, well and truly a mature age at the age of 30. And he played 8 games last year for the Cats, kicked 1 goal. And in those 8 games, we saw a couple of them, Baz. He didn't disgrace himself. He actually goes all right for the big boy.
No, it's a tough time to come in for a big fella, although the big fella's mature late. But we're coming into the highest level, Gilly, I suppose, and to keep up the tempo of the game, this year might be his year, after a year in it.
So he comes in, trots in, and goals. So Stephenson gets his second for the Tigers, his new home. They move on to 6-3-39, trailing the All-Stars 14-6-90, 15 gone in the final term. Thanks to our program sponsor, Learn Earn Legend. Speaking of legend, is our very own Gilly McAdam.
Yeah, look, it's not very far off for the siren here, but I suppose all they can do now is just finish the game off, and wouldn't be a lot of time left in it, Bass.
You're seeing Chris Yarran down on the boundary line. You had a good look at the Tigers. You got them in round 1?
Yeah, we have actually. So I've been, as much as I've been enjoying watching the All Stars, I've had a few glimpses at the Tiger boys, because obviously we play them in round 1. So we've had a pretty good record over the Tigers the last few years. So hopefully we can keep that momentum going.
Mickey Moldhouse, the new coach, he might want you to write a report when you get home.
Yeah, he might. I'll see how we go when we get back.
So bounce down in the centre. The Tigers stream it out of the centre of the ground. Low drop punt towards half forward is not too bad. And a good mark taken down there by Toddy Alton. Big fella shown a little bit tonight. And he's taken this 45 out on a 45-degree angle. 19 years of age through the Dandenong Stingrays.
He's got good size about him, hasn't he, Baz?
He's got good hands like he did then. He'll go a long, long way. You don't rate the big blokes, Sundays, do you?
Yeah, I do. They're if you talk to Crackers Keenan, they're the most important people on the ground.
Well, I reckon that's what Richmond's been lacking, is bigger blokes, and I reckon they've recruited well, so it's good signs for them.
48 out when he drops it onto his boot. It's come off the side, but it's coming back. It's coming back. It hits the post. Right goal post. From whence he kicked it. So 6 goals, 4-40 Richmond. 50 points in arrears of the All-Stars. 14-6-90. 16 and a half minutes now into the final term, Gillian. It's been a ripping night. The crowd's enjoyed the footy. The All-Stars have put on a show.
Yeah, look, they have, and Richmond probably hasn't had a real good game, but look, all in all, it's been a great atmosphere, and what a great opportunity for all Alice Springs folks to be able to see an AFL game in Alice Springs.
Yeah, 8,350 people have come to this game, and they've witnessed the All-Stars very slick indeed. Winding down towards the last few seconds. Tigers into attack through Vlastuin once again. It's a spiral punt kick in towards the forward 50 off hands. Again, the All-Stars have numbers. Dempsey bounced on its end. Through traffic was Thomas. Taken high from mine. Umpire calls play on. Wellingham in there showed courage along with Vlastuin. Good contest. And the ball has been forced out of bounds for a boundary throw-in between wing and half forward, broadcast side of Traeger Park. The scoreline 90-40.
Well, it's good the rain stayed away, Bess.
We're deep into the final term. Kicked forward to the wing, and Ryder takes a ripping mark. Ryder now kick over the top is okay as they surge forward again. Short kick to Sean Edwards, but the siren has gone. So the final score, Indigenous All Stars have done it again, this time at Traeger Park in Alice Springs. 50-point winners over the Tigers. 14 goals, 6 Richmond, 6 goals for 40. 3 goals to Graham Johncock and 2 goals to Eddie Betts, who showed a bit of excitement in the first half. 2 goals to Liam Jones, both of those in the first term, the Bulldog, for a good start. So they're the multiple goal scorers for the All-Stars. And Oren Stephenson, 2 goals for Richmond and 2 goals to Luke McGuan. But all in all, a big win for the Indigenous All-Stars again, Andrew Underwood.
Yeah, look, the game didn't reach any great heights from a Tigers perspective, but the All-Stars, they were slick across pretty much every line of the ground. 10 individual goal scorers. Baz, at quarter time, they led by 23 points. At half-time, they extended the lead out to 36. At three-quarter time, they were out by 57, and they pretty much put the cue in the rack for the bulk of the last term, running out 50-point victors, 14-6-90 over the Tigers, 6-4-40.
Well, I'll tell you what, Chris Yarran down on the boundary line, a lot of excitement down there. You're heading in amongst the players, and no doubt you'll be catching up with a couple shortly.
Yep. Wicked game by the fellas tonight.
So a ripping game from the All-Stars. They've really turned it on again, as they have done over many, many years. And tonight it was a 50-point win over the Tigers, who showed a bit in patches, impressive in the final term. Dustin Martin for most of the match was very, very good. He certainly busted a gut. He's had a big pre-season. He wanted to. The club wanted him to. I suppose he started well tonight, Undies, with a good four-quarter performance under his belt. But a lot of expectation on the Richmond Footy Club in 2013. And hopefully for their supporter base, busting to break into the final 8. And perhaps this might be the year. But it's just a hit out for them tonight. And they'll get through unscathed with any major injuries. And they'll be happy with that.
Yeah, look, all their big guns were not playing tonight. Your Rewalts, your Cotchins, your Delidios, Vickery, etc., etc. But on the flip side, the All-Stars could have fielded a much stronger lineup. There was no Goods, there was no Buddy Franklin, and the list goes on and on and on. So, all in all, a very good victory and a very good result for the All-Stars.
And Gilbert McAdam has gone downstairs to present the Polly Farmer medal for the best player on the ground tonight, as both sides line up for the presentations at the end of the game. But it's been a wonderful night. A crowd of over 8,500 people in here at Traeger Park, and the excitement around the ground that when the AFL comes to town, it's always the same in the biannual event, that They really, really enjoy their footy when it's outside of the normal areas, Andrew, that we sort of broadcast in.
Well, you call me Andrew then. Am I in trouble again?
A lot of people, you get upset with that. But when we do broadcast outside them, and we get a plethora of football through the season, but it's wonderful to see the game in its purest form where people can really enjoy it and love it, embrace it, and bring it back to where it belongs. Going to Craig Willis, the ground announcer for the presentations. Nathan Lovett-Murray down there, the captain. And very, very proud man. He stands next to Mickey O'Loughlin, the coach in the Indigenous All Stars. And the Tigers still out on the ground as well for the remaining time to be out there for the presentations. But a very, very proud night tonight for the Indigenous All Stars again. 50-point winners in the game, but it's a lot more than a game. It's about getting the great Indigenous players of this competition together to be able to enjoy certainly the input they've had in our great game over the last over 100 years of AFL football. And they're loving it down there, getting the photos taken at the moment. The Tigers still out on the ground, still having a wander around. And
can't get it.
You're out there as well. It's just wandering behind the pack at the moment. Waiting until the photo completes, and no doubt he'll be in there sorting out a couple of interviews with the Stars tonight. But they were certainly very impressive from the word go, Undies, tonight.
Yeah, they were. They had a terrific first term. Liam Jones was just magnificent in the early stages, and they just continued on.
Louis.
So Chris Yaron's down there at the moment, and he's going to have a chat to one of the superstars. Chris, who you got with you?
G'day, mate. Just got young Lewis Jetta. Louis, what do you think about today's game and a few of the boys' efforts?
It was a great game. It was the best experience ever. All the boys came together, played as one. Very proud to, put on this jumper and play with all the boys, and pretty happy to get the win.
Yeah, great. Young Harley Bennell is going to be a superstar in the making, if he's not already. I was talking to a few of the boys earlier, and he said that he's going to be a Brownlow medalist at some stage. What are your thoughts on him?
No, I taught him everything he knows. He's very young. He's gonna be a star.
No worries, thanks, mate.
No.
There we have it.
Well done, Chris. We'll stay with you. So whatever you got down there, we'll certainly take as the Indigenous All Stars all get together arm in arm for the photograph. Jnr, of course, one of his greatest days of So Chris Yaron has been down there all night. He's been amongst it. Wasn't
I'll try to get Harley Bennell, mate. Here we are. Got young Harley Bennell.
Fire away, Chris. You've got the floor.
What are your thoughts on today's game? First of all, great effort. What are your thoughts on today's game, Ben?
Yeah, that was really good. Count to hot conditions. The boys come in a week earlier to adapt to the conditions. Got out to the communities. And just it's a great event. Do have it every year, but I think the AFL is doing it every second year. So it's good to be here. Yeah, it's the thoughts on the crowd today. The guys really showing their spirit today, and really appreciation to those guys. If you want to. Well, the crowd's great. They supported us all along. I think there's a few Richmond supporters down there. Don't want to see them tonight, but it's great. No worries. There we have it, guys. Harley Bennell.
Well done. Good on you, Chris.
Guys down.